And with that, ladies and germs, we are live. Welcome one and all to another episode of No Bucks Given right here on the Horny Goat YouTube channel. And of course, the Horny Goats podcasting network. What? What happened? What happened?
Fucking Gina, get your balls
We
off
all
my
heard it because we were
Heard what?
behind when you said it.
Heard what? Nothing was heard. Nothing was heard.
I'm so
I know
sorry.
you-
My
I
dog
know
was
you-
laying on my leg and he had his knees, like his balls were on my knee.
He doesn't wear pants. No, it's a dog. It's okay.
The stream starts.
Oh.
All he hears, get the balls off my knee.
I think it was the whispering that got me, but now we are live. So what's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 6 of No Bucks Given, again right here on the Horny Goat YouTube channel, Horny Goat Podcasting Network. Hopefully not to be interrupted by anything related to Gina's dog's balls. You guys know me. I am Connor, formerly known as OK Fabe. We'll talk if you guys have a moment. I'll talk about that a little bit later on. But of course, it is myself joined with the wonderful Horny Goat crew as we talk about the most randomest things going on in news, current events, and some other strange shit just going on in the world in general. With that being said, of course, we got the esteemed panel with us this evening. First and foremost, it is the it couple, the power couple of the Horny Goat. We got Heather and JP along with Wendy. What's going on, guys?
What's up? Not much.
We of course got.
I gotta take a deep breath.
Why?
I don't know what we're talking about tonight.
Okay, cool. That's all right. That's half the fun and half the mystery. We of course got the wonderful Miss Gina. Gina, how's your knee?
My knee's fine because his balls are now off of my knee. Thank you.
Perfect.
And on my face.
No, not me alone. He's down at the other end of my bed.
And of course, everyone's favorite bear from upstairs. What's going on in Canadian basement?
What's up, baby? I'm ready, willing, and disabled.
Are you sure you're ready? Are you sure you're ready?
Are you sure?
I'm ready. I'm
Wendy
sure.
looks like she's ready. Wendy ready and able.
She's
Liu
doing
Kang
the
kick.
bicycle.
Yeah.
The Liu Kang bicycle kick.
Oh my God, Mortal Kombat. Of course, we want to encourage you guys to check out all of our cool content over on the Horny Goat channel, youtube.com/hornygoat. We are at 361 subscribers, so we are climbing ever so closely to that 500 subscriber goal. So make sure you guys go hit that sub button and hit the like while you are around. Check out all our cool stuff from our Wednesday wacky gameplays to our Friday night movie watch-alongs, of course, No Bucks Given, and of course, other cool content coming down the pipeline, including NAW, New Alternative Wrestling, which is coming out tomorrow, and we got some other cool tidbits and everything in between, so make sure you give us a subscribe. And you can also listen to this and the Marvel Roundtable on your favorite podcasting sites like Anchor, Apple, Google, Spotify, Stitcher, and Hart Radio. So make sure you guys give us some love over on those platforms too. Guys and gals, how are you been? I was about to say how are you been / how have you been this week? And somehow an amalgamation of those two sentences just like kind of crammed into each other. You get what I'm trying to ask. How you guys doing?
Have we been this week? We've been pretty good. We got some good news, kind of. I'm not going to elaborate on it.
Aw,
yet.
you cock tease.
I can. So I got pre-approved for a home loan. We're going to look at a house on Monday. And I'm hoping to God, I had my mom look at she goes, the pictures of it. Okay. But she's going, no, she did say, because the living room is pea green. And Heather's like, I'm painting. We need to paint that. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't know why you're telling me, essentially. I could live in vomit green or whatever. As long, you know what I'm saying. So I'm like, it's all you.
You could live in vomit.
Preliminary said she liked it. So
hey, listen, mom gets the approval, for that. That's a huge.
I told her today, I'm like, the only reason I want you to come along is because you've done this before. I have not. I'm trying to like your input.
I get it, JP, because like when I was looking at houses before, I always had my dad come with me because my dad knows exactly what to look for as far as like the electrical and
it's a house, all right.
Anything like that.
That's one thing. I mean, that we do live. We're gonna be living on the river. So, I mean,
Nice.
but it doesn't look like there's been any flooding. They didn't say, because usually
Shit,
they
I didn't
have
even
to
think of
tell
that.
you. So,
Look in the basement. Look in the basement and on the outside of the
Yeah.
He's right there.
foundation. That's
We
gonna be
will.
the-
He's right
Look into
there.
me.
On Monday,
He's on the
we're going.
call.
Look into
Listen,
my
I don't want
anus.
to look into that basement.
Look into my
Stare-
anal cavities.
Stare into my brown eye and watch it blink.
Sure that. But that's
Stare into the basement's brown eye, and he'll be able to, magically tell you whether or not the property
It's
flooded.
like an 8-ball. Shake me and find out.
So yeah, we're preliminarily we're looking good, and it's about the only
Sweet.
house that's in our price range that looks really good.
It
Heather,
does,
you must
it
be-
does look like a really solid, nice house for a well, let's just say it's a decent, very, very good price.
It's newer appliances, newer electric,
Newer plumbing.
newer
Hold
plumbing.
up, it
And
comes
a new
with
roof.
appliances too.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Dishwasher,
Damn, you guys are getting a freaking deal.
dishwasher, washer and dryer.
Fuck
What
my
you have
duck.
to do is, as soon as you go in there, you gotta rub the wall, let out a sigh, and say, "Oh, this house has good bones."
Or I'm gonna rub my balls on it. Yeah.
It's now mine.
You go
This
in and
has
you lick the
good
wall and
structural
say, "Let's get
integrity."
it time."
Well, we'll
Heather, you
know
must be-
more on Monday.
Heather, you excited?
I'm very excited.
Finally get her to shut the fuck up about it.
Oh no, you won't.
You could buy duct tape. It's a lot cheaper.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is. That is very true. Gina Basement, how you guys doing this week?
I'm good. I got some really, really, really beautiful flowers in today, so that made me happy.
That's right. It is V-Day weekend, and we're not talking venereal diseases. Although
This
the
holiday
season.
does bring them on.
'tis the season, every time there's a flare up. Basement, you holding over there? I know you weren't feeling so hot, and
I'm doing all right. I got some really nice, beautiful pills.
sometimes that's just as well, on on Valentine's Day weekend,
Yesterday he did put a message in the DMs that said price doctor. I'm like, what the fuck is a price doctor? Why in the fuck would a price doctor come in?
way.
And he goes, it's a prick doctor. I just misspelled it.
You know what? I just picture Basement over there. Like, I got a purple pill and I got a blue pill, and while he's separating them.
I did
This one
actually
helps.
mention-
I have a blue pill, a purple pill. This one helps with the color blindness. A white pill, a red pill. I'm supposed to take them in the right order, otherwise I'm fucked. Shit, where did I leave off? Oh man. Real quick, before we get into the topics and stuff, I don't want to take up too much time on this. Well, first and foremost, me and Basement are apparently conjoined twins at birth because we both got a hand injury. I know you can see that here on the YouTube channel. That was a lot of fun this past morning. But the big thing I wanted to quickly just kind of talk about for those who are live in the chat, which I'll give some love to in just a second. Last week was my last stream under the OKFabe name, which did not expect that to go the way it went. It kind of went a little off. I don't want to say off the rails. I just wasn't expecting. Fucking Drew, fucking derailed and just ramming into the fucking chat the entire time. But no, I know some people have followed over from that channel here, which I'm very grateful for. I know a lot of people follow on both sides, so I'm glad that some people are coming over and see some of the crazy and kookiness that not just I can provide, but all these wonderful people, not just on the call, but like Tim, Ray. What? Yeah, basically Ray, Sean, Tim, and everybody else. So anyway, the one thing I just want to reiterate and once again reemphasize, if I didn't already for the 2-hour stream that's still up on my channel, thank you to everyone who showed up. Thank you to everyone who had left some very nice messages. It is one of definitely the top memories that I will have as far as my run as the OKFabe persona. The video is still up on my channel for at least for right now. It'll probably be completely gone within a month's time. So check it out while you can. And that's really all to it. Just namaste and thank you to all. Ow, I gotta fucking watch it. Damn finger. But no, just wanted to thank everybody.
Peroxide.
No, God, no. I put hand sanitizer on this morning, forgetting about it.
Well, Why did basement just sound like a fucking drug dealer on the corner? Like, you want some peroxide?
I didn't tell him to
Want me
stop.
suck your dick?
Go back to the peroxide. Can I get both? No?
It's 2-for-1 deal. You pay for the peroxide. Blowjob is free.
Right. It's a coupon deal. What's going on, everybody in the chat? Let's give some love to the chat as well. We got, of course, Jurgen, my Jurgen. We got, of course, our wonderful Ray Sean also as well. Alpha is in the chat joining us, along with, of course, we see Gina and Basement commingling in the chat in there as well. Of course, Walter Mitchell. What's going on? Walter Mitchell, good to see you all in the chat. Thank you for joining us live here on the channel. That being said, let's get into the thick of things. We're also going to switch up a little bit this week with not just talking about the topics that are in the description, but we're also going to do some fun little questionnaire icebreakers, get a chance to get to know each other inside and out. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
Inside me.
We need drinking.
Like the
Yeah,
matching
thank
school
God.
bus. Except the school bus is your dick.
Yellow, magical. It's got googly eyes on it. It sounds about right. It's right in line with the
I also
description.
call mine Miss Frizzle.
Seatbelts, everyone.
Oh, Jesus fuck.
But let's kick things off with of course, the articles, like I said, any of the stuff that we'll be discussing, all the links for it is in the description of the YouTube video, so you guys can follow along with us. And let's kick things off with the fun thing that, well, there's a theme, I think, with a lot of these with these articles and discussions, and some of these with the idea of reboots, cancellations, different versions of things. And let's talk about everyone's favorite 6.5-hour movie trilogy. Let's talk some Lord of the Rings. Specifically, Amazon coming out with, well, a new diverse version of Lord of the Rings, which apparently from the trailer and what we've seen from the upcoming series is drawing a lot of outrage and disgust in general. The article, again, linked in the YouTube channel description. Amazon's upcoming Lord of the Rings series is drawing criticism for preachy multiculturalism after it emerged the show will be featuring a diverse cast with a tribe of multiracial hobbits and a very strong female presence. I can already see JP shaking his head. I'm not even looking at him, and I can hear it. Earlier in the week, British actor Lenny Henry revealed that he would be playing a black hobbit from an indigenous tribe called the Harfoots, a variety of hobbit described by Lord of the Rings author J.A.R. Tolkien as having darker skin. Describing the series as a prequel to the age seen in Lord of the Rings books and Hobbit and films, Henry told the BBC that the show was about the early days of the Shire and the Tolkien's environment. I feel like that's a double entendre. In Tolkien's fantasy world of Middle-earth, the Shire is the green grassland form, blah, 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 blah. So, long story short, it is I guess you can say a woke version of Lord of the Rings?
Or,
Okay, but here's the problem.
Yep.
People wanted, like, you have an outcry, oh, there needs to be more diversity, blah, 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 blah. But then they give you more diversity, and then they're still fucking bitching. So what the fuck do you people want?
I think with this, it's like if they didn't
And by
say
you people, I mean
anything and
everybody.
just
Sorry.
if they didn't say anything and just did it, I don't think anybody would really care that much. But the fact that they have to come out and like say and parade it in front of people and say, well, we're going to make sure it's extremely racial diverse and we're going to have a bunch of strong female leads in it. It's like you don't need to just do it. Just do
Yeah,
it. You don't need to-
they're
you're hurting
basically
your
using it
product
as like a
saying
hook
that.
almost.
Yeah, but it's going to turn as many people off as it's going to turn them on.
Yeah.
So like I don't know.
Well,
If they just did it, it'd be fine in my mind. but-
go ahead.
Well, what I find interesting is they say it's from the early days of the Shire, so that means all of them were breeded out when it came time to demolish the ring.
Yeah, this is like
This is clearly
that
not
was-
thought out very well.
At some point in time, there was race wars that happened in Lord of the Rings. I don't know. It's you kind of have to go with if it's going to link into the existing property in some way, as in take place in the same world. You can't just like create things that are
Include it.
completely different. Yeah.
And
But I mean,
hopefully-
if they didn't say anything, I think people blow the shit out of the water too often anyway. But
No,
Well,
I'm kind of right there with you on that one. I think that like, yeah, I'm all in favor of representation. I'm all in favor of equality. I'm all in favor of like giving in any form of medium in terms of like entertainment, talking TV shows, movies, whatever. I'm cool with the idea of promoting whatever, a person of this race, of this ethnicity, of this gender, as a prominent role. If it's happens to be that, I don't want it to be their characteristic. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want that to be their character, I guess I should say. Not characteristic, I'm misquoting here. Like, oh, why do you like them? Well, because they're black.
Yeah.
Can we, like, is there more to it? Right. Like, is there more qualities behind them other than just like
the last thing I think of is the color of the fucking character. Is a character well written? Do they have a good story? Like, there's so much more importance than that fucking aspect of them.
right. And that's the part that I think is like, and to kind of go off what Baseman was just saying a minute ago, it's almost like it's a pitch. Like, this is like, oh, like, we're advertising, like my kids, my son watches Power Rangers, and I used to keep up with it, but they would always come up with the news. It's like new swords, new armor, new weapons, and then I feel like it's like this. It's like
New Hobbit.
it's like colored hobbits, female lead. Like, what the fuck? Like, really?
But I think
That's-
okay. Do you watch? Did everybody watch Lord of the Rings or no?
Yes.
Yes, and I hate it.
Okay.
Nope.
So you remember, like, I can't remember the name of the character, but she was like some elf woman that was like they found in the first or second movie that
Yeah.
was like super powerful that gave them shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's in this movie, different actress,
Mhm.
but she's also like a gladiator woman, like
'Cause,
fighting in.
sure.
Well, no,
Like,
actually,
but
with
why
that,
wouldn't why wouldn't she still do that though in the new movie?
because in the new movie there was no time of war.
No, I'm
That-
sorry. In the Lord of the Rings, they were. Why wouldn't she just put on her fucking suit of armor and join them?
Well, first off, I believe elves are like thousands of fucking years old. So,
Yeah, they like live
she's not.
forever.
Yeah, so she's like, she's in her, her mid 2000s.
I gave up fighting to live in the woods. Now
yeah.
here's all the tools I used to use for fighting.
Right. She's become the old cat lady. Which my cats are being assholes.
But it was like they did like a photo shoot
so
for
the
this.
streaks of eyes go by.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Oh my
did
God,
a
they're
photo
fucking.
shoot for this show, and it was like they had like this this black woman that plays like what the fuck are they called? The dwarf. It's the first female dwarf in the series, and I think they said that the female dwarves had like beards and shit too.
That was the joke that Aragon played with the niece of the king.
Uh-huh.
With that movie,
Yeah, no, he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
he was trying to explain, the dwarves are more diverse than people are trying to make them out. They do more than just hide in their mountain and build caves. But then he said, "But can hardly tell who the women are," meaning, from hard work, they're all dirty. But no,
Mhm.
Aragon turned around and went like, "It's the beards."
So
I
yeah, I
mean-
mean, it's $1 billion investment into this show. That's how much it's costing to make this show for Amazon. So
I'm.
it's weird to take that woke gamble.
I mean, I'm
wouldn't
on.
have said anything.
Yeah.
This-
Sorry, Gina. Go ahead.
Sorry. Well, I was just gonna say this whole thing is reminding me. Did you guys hear a couple weeks ago Peter Dinklage
Yeah.
was like super outraged about
Yes.
the new remake of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and
Yep.
Yeah.
they cast a Latina actress, which he was completely behind to play Cinderella or Snow White, excuse me. He was completely behind that, but he's like, you're kind of like
It's no
fighting
longer
fire. with-
Snow White.
Yeah, exactly, because like you still have the dwarves that are living in a cave. You have all this like machoism
cottage.
with like the prince and all this stuff. So you're kind of contradicting the whole reason why, like you're being woke, but at the same time you're still sticking to the same old traditional shit, if that makes sense.
I also thought they were casting like regular sized people as dwarves.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
That
know,
was his-
but I
that
know
was
that.
his other big gripe. You're not using actual little people for this role.
Oh,
When this role actually calls
I mean,
for
how many
little-
roles are there for
Right.
little people, right? Like,
Well-
at least give them one. Like,
exactly.
For fuck's
you know,
sakes, man.
and not only that, but after his whole outrage, like after his whole interview with this outrage came out, Disney actually changed it, and now the dwarves are going to be magical.
I don't give a shit. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
watch
I
this.
might-
it's this whole the whole thing
What?
between this and Lord of the Rings. It all ties together for me because it's just Hollywood trying to appease to an
Bandwagon.
audience. They are bandwagoning,
Hollywood
and they are
always seems like
appeasing it to an audience that will never be fucking satisfied.
well, Hollywood now seems like they do everything in their power to say, I'm morally better than you. It's like,
Right,
Yeah.
but
no,
like
you're just a
trying to
fucking
please,
cum monster.
like they're trying to please an audience that is just never going to
To be pleased.
ever.
JP, anything you want to chime in on this thing? Like, I mean, maybe not just even specifically like the Lord of the Rings per se, but just the idea of them doing this. Why is Heather hiding?
I'm not mad. I'm
disappointed.
furious.
Oh, okay, there you go. That's more like it.
Come on, people. Why? Okay. Did anybody read the books?
Yep.
Yes, I was forced
I
to
did.
in high
I
school.
did.
Was
Yeah.
there anywhere in there, and this isn't a fucking racial thing, is there anywhere in there? I'm like
Get to your
basement.
question.
Just shush it. It's a rhetorical question. It's not really a question, so shut up. Here's the thing. Nowhere in the book does it say that all of these people were black, and all of these people were white, and all of these people were Latinos, and all of these people were Chinese. Nowhere in the book does it state that. So why are we fucking changing something that was
Point.
written in a fucking book?
Good point, actually.
There's
That's
no
actually
need for it.
yeah.
Well, I think that's pointing directly to what Basement was talking about before. That it would be completely fine if they were, to include different genders, different races. Just don't put so much
Emphasis on it.
emphasis on
It-
it. Yes.
Yeah, if they advertised it as, hey, we're doing a prequel to Lord of the Rings and focused more on like the ideas of maybe new worlds, different sections of the Shire, even if they still included the things that they said they were including, fine, but don't like.
Yeah.
It just don't like
This-
it doesn't need to be the forefront. Character development, good story writing, and good writing, and I feel like that's lost.
This is
That-
the
that is
problem with
completely
Hollywood
lost.
nowadays. It's all fucking posturing, and it's all this. Oh, inclusive. We're progressive. We're this. We're that. It's like you can't write a story to save your life.
You know what?
You can
and-
have as many fucking people they can have 8 dicks for all I care about. Like, I mean, what does it matter if
Yeah.
the storyline is absolute shit?
I
Yeah.
am just I for one am just sick and tired of the fucking Hollywood reboots because that's all they're doing now.
Oh,
Rarely
we'll get
ever
there.
do you see anything that is actually original, and it's not the fact that everything's been done. No, everything hasn't been done. There's a million books out there that you could take and you could write a screenplay and turn it into a fucking movie, and it would be a great movie. But they just don't want to fucking do it because they know that Snow White and the Seven Dwarves has sold, or Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I
has
mean,
sold.
shit. I'll even kind of use this in a segue in a minute to talk about another subject we were going to talk about because fuck it. But like, yes, like okay, you can say like, oh yeah, like everything hasn't been done. You're right. I wouldn't even be upset if people did things that were quote unquote original, but their version or interpretation of another story or some. Because realistically, all this similar stories have been told, right? But you can do so much with that. But go ahead, JP.
Here's my fear. The books are very well written.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't read them, but you can get. Don't laugh. You can get the
Sorry,
gist.
it was funny. Sorry.
No, I mean,
It's a
I
great
hated
sentence.
reading. I hated reading, but I understood the gist of the story. I really did. So I got an A on the test. We had to read this book in 7th grade,
Yeah, so did we.
and I got an A and didn't read a fucking word of it because I hated fucking reading.
Well, Lord of the
No,
Rings actually would say is not well written. I don't like the way Tolkien writes. I like The Hobbit,
Okay,
but
I
Lord of the Rings is so meandering.
that, but it's considered one of the great works. It is in
Great fantasy, yeah. It's one of those jumping off points for all modern day fantasy.
so.
Yeah.
My fear is that Hollywood is going to get a hold of it
And destroy it.
and they're going to destroy it. I have not seen The Lord of the Rings, and it turned me off when Jackson actually directed the movie because I don't like him.
He did an excellent job on those movies.
So, well, I don't care for the guy. So
If you wanted chocolate.
I just, that's my fear that they're gonna take and make this. I hate to do this. They're gonna make it ghetto.
You want the other chocolate?
No, I get you on that. I mean, that's
They look like they're staying pretty close to like the source material.
You can stay
just-
close to it, then fine. But don't fucking change
It's
it.
forced inclusion thing. It's the marketing of forced inclusion that I hate. You can include people, just shut the fuck up about it. Why make it a selling or talking point?
that's
You
my
make
big gripe with it.
people,
Yeah.
like that's what pisses me
Everything.
off.
People like you and me,
Everything revolves
they,
around
and I guarantee it, the fucking liberal fucking, I mean, the far left fucking, I hate fucking doing this, but the far left people love it because now they have something to stand behind because that's what we do.
However, they're going to turn their back on it in like a week.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course. It's gonna be
and
move on to the
bottom
next thing.
Any the real struggle that the black people have.
See, and that's
It's just
what I'm fearing it's going to end up going.
Yeah.
I mean, if they include like real life, like today's day and age politics and like racial beliefs in Lord of the Rings, I'm gonna be like, fuck this show and never watching it again.
Yeah.
But if they just have a character that's black that is just living in the world that they created, that has no fucking bond to this actual real world, I'd
Yeah.
be fine with it.
But
Yeah.
that is the problem because all that Hollywood sees is the race propaganda. Like they see the race agenda because they think that it's this big push
And they
and this big thing with people around the world. When yes, there are certain people out there that are pushing, racial agendas and all of these other things, but majority of us normal everyday fucking people, I don't want to say we don't see race because obviously that would be a fucking ridiculous thing to say because you see race, but it doesn't matter to most of us. Like,
Well,
you have a friend. You don't have a black friend, a brown friend, a Mexican friend, a Chinese friend. You just have a friend. That's me anyway.
No, I get that point of it, but my point is that you can have things in TVs and movies that are about race and have people of race in those roles. That is fine, especially when, like, if you have pivotal stories to tell that center around that.
100%.
But in this particular instance, the fact that you have a strong female lead or essentially black elves or hobbits or whatever is kind of unless I will say this, unless the story is in relation to that, unless the story they're telling is in relation to that in some way, shape, or form, I'll be fine with it. But like me and Basement basically said, it's the fact that it's basically like that is part of the fucking marketing. And when you turn things like those things, again, unless that's part of the when I say narrative, I mean the story that they're telling in the show. If that's the focal point, then fine. I've seen I'm trying to think of when they did the show, the movie on Malcolm X or any of those movies. Like, yeah, that's obviously going to be like, hey, that is clearly what it's supposed to be about. That is understandable because that's you're examining that. But if this is just like, oh, it's not even any, like, there's no point, like, why are they black? Well, then why the fuck did you fucking advertise like that? Yeah, that's the part that
it doesn't matter to me if they have black fucking trolls or whatever, or black fucking dwarves. It doesn't matter to me. But when they advertise it and sell it that way, it's gross, kind of. Like
it's pandering.
Yeah.
It's pandering, and I feel like it's taking a step back on any progress that might have been made.
Oh, listen, we've already done that all across the fucking board. We took 5 steps forward and fucking 17 backwards this past 2 years.
Real quick in the chat, we saw, Rayshon saying, I don't know nothing about Lord except the Rings, except that they are some long-ass movie. That's true. Alpha says, yeah, I never got into Lord of the Rings, to be honest, but even I'll admit, in my opinion, this to me is to people just bitching for the sake of it. If people are literally complaining about midgets not playing midgets, then people are fucking retarded. People complain about everything and anything that's not even necessary to bitch about. I mean, pretty much right there on it. Jurgen also chiming in saying agree, and Jurgen even agreeing with JP's point on that too. And I even threw in the chat thoughts on the idea of the Lord of the Rings series, if they're thinking it's doing too much or they don't mind this. And so far people are pretty much on the same boat, like they're just kind of going overboard with it a little bit. But to kind of
problem.
Yeah, that's really, I think, the bottom line anyway. But to transition a little bit from, we're talking about Hollywood and reboots and everything. One thing I just kind of threw out here last minute to everybody was the, kind of swinging the pendulum in a different direction is the news that, speaking of reboots, they're looking to reboot Futurama. They're looking to continue the Futurama series. It has been announced that Hulu has picked it up. And the reason I'm only bringing this up is not so much because I'm a huge Futurama fan, because I'm, I thought it had some good moments and some very funny scenes. But the big thing is that fans are boycotting this reboot, not because it's a Hollywood reboot, not because they're bringing it back from the dead, but because Bender ain't going to be Bender. The voice actor for Bender, who a lot of people actually may know, John DiMaggio, who does very famous voice roles such as Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War. I'm waiting for Baseman to say I killed his dad. Jake the dog from Jake the Dog from Adventure Time has had some great voice. He actually was, I think he played the Joker in Into the Red Hood, which was one of my favorite animated versions of that movie. But point being is that Futurama fans are boycotting because Bender ain't gonna be Bender. So to kind of swing the pendulum back in that direction, I mean, do you think fans are right for? What do you guys think about this? I mean, do you think it's one of those, like, is this kind of the complete polar opposite of it, where it's like, okay, you guys are like, this is a cash cow, or do you think that fans are missing the point?
See why the fans are upset, because like Bender was a huge part of that show.
Mhm.
So you bring the show back without one of its main characters, and what's the fucking point?
I've never seen.
It's like whatever cartoons out there, like so say they brought back The Simpsons, and all of a sudden Homer was voiced by somebody else. It just
Well,
wouldn't feel right.
think of all the controversy the Simpsons have been on under fire too. Like a couple of years ago, the voice actor for Apu, right, was not Muslim, and he came under, or sorry, Hindu, excuse me, was not Hindu, and so the show and
That
him
was
came
so
under.
ridiculous. That
Right, so I'm just saying is that the people are giving a little too much
I
scrutiny
mean, this
into
is a
certain
bit
things.
different because the Bender thing is centered around them not meeting eye to eye on paying him what he wants for returning to the role.
Right, but do you think
So
fans
who's
are
at
asking
fault
too much?
there?
Yeah, well, I mean, do you think fans are like? Do you think?
Sorry.
I don't know. Like I feel like I'd rather them not reboot it
If
than
it's not going to
if
be
it's not
Bender, then
gonna
no.
be bent. Yeah, because I mean, I don't know.
Wait. So
Yeah.
Bender, who's a voice actor,
He's one of the characters.
Yeah,
And
Bender's
I
a
know who
robot.
Bender is.
Yeah,
I've never seen an episode of Futurama,
Oh, okay.
but I know
Well,
who
It's
Bender
basically
is.
Simpsons.
Yeah.
I've never seen an episode of The Simpsons either.
Okay, well.
Sorry, I just never got into that stupid shit. Sorry, I think it's stupid.
Yeah, I'm just blocking you on Twitter. It's fine. Go ahead. Continue.
It's fine. Whatever. Do what you got to do. I
Or
did you
replacing like an
say?
actor in one of
Did
your
you
favorite
say? Did you say that he doesn't want to come back because he's not getting paid enough?
Yeah,
There
it's
was
pay
a
disputes.
contract dispute, and they didn't see eye to eye. That's
Yeah.
all I know.
He's a voice actor. Shut the fuck up.
They get paid a lot.
That's how he makes his money.
He shouldn't.
Oh,
A voice actor is a
here's the
voice
thing.
actor.
Here's the thing, though. The guy, I don't think that he's in the wrong necessarily, because if they reboot Futurama, it's going to make huge bucks. Okay, and Bender, without Bender, that show is not
The same.
nothing. It's nothing without Bender. So he is like one of the very central characters of the show. So
That's
I
why I
don't
say
think
I
that he's in the
wouldn't-
wrong.
I don't think they should reboot without the original cast. The only way that I would accept them doing that is if one of the original cast members is no longer alive.
Listen, it would for
I know
me.
Katie Seagal was part of that. I don't know if she. was.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
And she's coming back. Everybody else is coming back except for him.
So for me, it
far.
would be like if they were okay.
He's
They're
not-
doing
He's not the main character though, so he shouldn't be asking for all this.
Arguably, he's one of the main
I don't
characters.
care.
one
I
of the
don't
main
care.
characters.
But okay, is he the main character?
There is
There
no real main
isn't- there
character.
isn't a main
I guess
character in
Fry, you'd say,
Futurama.
but
The voice
I have
actor.
a-
Until they can find somebody that can do his voice.
For
I have
me,
a
it'd be
good
like-
analogy. Oh, sorry. No, go
It's
ahead.
delivery though. It's delivery as well. It's not. There's voice acting is no different than
It's hard. I've tried
It's
it.
a lot like
Right.
regular acting.
Exactly. And voice acting, I would almost argue, is almost harder than regular acting because you do have to be perfect. Like you have to be on the fucking ball and you have to express everything, every emotion that character is supposed to be feeling, you have to express it through your voice. You don't have the option of expressing it through hand gestures or anything else like that.
The best analogy I can give to you, JP, in terms of trying, like, I guess, relate to this. Are you a Three Stooges fan?
I am.
Okay. Was it the same when Curly left and they replaced him with Shemp?
Mm-mm.
I'm not saying was it bad. I'm saying was it the same?
I mean, Curly was the best. I'm not gonna sit here and say that he wasn't.
Right.
Okay, but again, and I get it. Everybody wants the same guy to voice him, but what's to say he's not gonna do as good as he did? You can't say that he will.
Well,
I
I guess
mean-
that falls on the writing more than anything. But
No.
the point I was making is that Futurama doesn't really. I mean, there is sort of a lead character, but at the same time, it's more centered around the
He's more
three
the
of them.
entry point. Like Fry is the lead, yeah, but he's the entry point for the audience.
Yeah,
That's what he acts as, and the main most
the
of
main
the
three characters are
comedic-
Leela,
yeah.
Fry, and Bender. So that's why I was using the Three Stooges comparison. Is that like Fry gets the most attention, but I wouldn't necessarily call him the main character. But Bender is probably, if he's a supporting character, he's probably the most important, if and or / popular supporting character in the
Probably
show.
the person you'd see
I
on
would
the
honest-
a
I
box
would
art more
honestly
than
say-
anybody else.
I would honestly say the character that Katie Seagal played was more important than either of those two.
So Katie Seagal and Fry are both like he's the comedic aspect of the show and the third wheel basically, but he is also the most memorable and marketable asset of that show.
Mm-hmm.
I think you'd like him the most, JP. To be honest with you, if you watch the episodes, I think you'd like him the best. But anyway, I just thought it would be just a little tidbit to throw out there as far as like the
Don't
idea
take
of
stock.
replacing.
I guess I just don't take stock into voice acting.
I mean, I'm not gonna I don't know, but like I guess the question is boycotting the show. I'm not gonna boycott a show. It makes no fucking
No.
sense anyway. Am I
Right.
disappointed that they didn't get him back? Yeah. Would I check it out? I might.
And if you don't like it, you just won't.
And
watch
if I don't like it, I just won't watch it. But
Yeah.
like boycotting, that word gets thrown around so fucking much nowadays.
it. Mhm.
The reason I brought it up was in conjunction with the Lord of the Rings story, because on one hand you have
know
like
what?
that, and then the other hand you have like, oh, it's not my favorite actor, so fuck off. Like
Well,
I feel
and,
like I feel like
just-
those are the two extremes on when it comes to like entertainment nowadays.
Exactly. And just like reboots, we were talking about reboots before, but the one that they have coming up that I am not excited for whatsoever, because in today's climate,
yeah.
it is not going to succeed whatsoever. It will not be the fucking same. So why bring it back? They're bringing back Beavis and Butthead. It is not going to succeed. It's not going to be the same as it was when we were kids, because in today's climate, it's not going to fly.
I didn't even like Beavis and Butthead back
Like
then.
Butthead. Yeah, I watched it with my dad, so it's like
It was just two clowns. Oh yeah, no. That was the whole show.
Beavis and Butthead was on MTV, and essentially, I mean, yeah, they did their skit thingies. Mike Judge, who is the guy that he also did King of the Hill,
Which I
he's-
also hate.
he's the one that created these. I think he's the one that created these two characters. If I
He did.
remember
Yep.
correct.
Yep. You're right.
So, I mean, essentially, they were on MTV, and essentially, it was just another show. And actually, Beavis and Butthead started this whole MTV going away from music videos and
Well,
going to all of this other shit that they're doing.
I disagree. It was right around the same time that MTV started steering away from it. But with Beavis and Butthead, they were still very much inclusive with the music videos, because that was pretty much
Because their show would include music videos,
Right.
and they would sit
Yeah.
there and make fun of music videos.
right.
But I'm just saying the focus of Beavis and Butthead wasn't them making fun of the music videos. It should have been. It was essentially them being fucking dumbasses. I need TP for my bunghole.
I'm just
Listen, that's some funny shit.
Actually, okay, Beavis and Butthead the movie, I enjoyed, but Beavis and the Butthead the show, I just couldn't.
Correct. It's Beavis and Butthead do America.
Beavis and Butthead Do America, the movie, was fucking terrible.
I
I'm
liked it
still
better than the
just
shows.
I'm
Yeah,
just
I
I'm
didn't
loving
I'll do it.
no. I loved it the way you did it because the way you did I loved it better when JP did it so fucking straight laced, like, TP for my bunghole, like
That is one of the most famous lines in that fucking show.
I know. It's
I
funny
don't
when
remember
you
any
did
other
with
lines. What else did they say besides grunt and laugh?
But anyway, my whole thing is like I'm sick and tired of God's sakes, the amount of like either reboots or remakes or continuations unnecessarily of shows and movies that I have seen and heard. I mean, shit, I've heard they're gonna bring back King of the Hill. I've heard they're bringing back Beavis and Butthead. Hell. They did a Hey Arnold movie. They did a Rocco Modern Life
Things get
special.
Things get canceled for a reason.
God damn it!
Nobody was watching it, so
My
let it
daughter.
die.
My daughter today. I started telling you guys about this, but you guys all said that you have not seen the newer animated Rugrats, right?
Yep.
Okay, so like all of us, we know what Rugrats actually like initially was. It was old form cartoon, hand drawn cartoon. The newer one is fucking terrifying.
Yeah,
Like,
I've seen some. Yeah.
Oh my god!
It's
Okay,
like CGI or
that-
whatever, right?
Yes, like the CGI, like animated stuff, like Jimmy Neutron,
Mm-hmm.
like that, and put it on Rugrats. Like the characters are so fucking
So
scary.
Rugrats had a weird animation style to it, but it weirdly worked in a regular 3D. It doesn't translate to 3D very
They
well.
turned everything
You could tell
3D,
right
and
from the
it-
get go it would never translate to 3D.
They transferred it to 3D, and
Yeah.
it is fucking terrifying. I was watching it today, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
But-
okay, you all are Gordon Ramsay. Y'all know who Gordon Ramsay is, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And the
No.
shows he does on Fox. Shut up, basement. So he had this show called Hell's Kitchen where he would bring 16 to 20 chefs in and they would compete for a spot at one of his restaurants, right? He doesn't do that anymore. He actually started a new show called Next Level Chef. It's a new, innovative, original, and creative idea
Right.
on how to find the next big chef. Nobody does that kind of stuff anymore.
Now imagine they
Where's the
replaced-
originality? Where is the originality in Hollywood, in just in
Everything.
TV, in everything? Where is the
Yeah.
originality? There's
No,
none.
Gordon-
Well, now
Gordon
imagine
Ramsay-
they replaced Gordon Ramsay with Drew Carey.
Why?
I mean, but hold on. Drew Carey did have a couple of shows that were pretty decent. I loved Whose Line Is It Anyway? That's still to this day one of my
Yeah, but
favorite.
I didn't love it for Drew Carey.
Oh, I mean, it was all of the comedians together, but Drew Carey was a part of it. Drew Carey was also funny back then. You take Drew Carey then, compare him to Drew Carey now.
Was
with
Drew
the
Carey
right
ever
fight.
really funny? His
Yeah,
supporting
he-
cast is
he-
always way funnier than him.
Yeah, that's I think that's his downfall. Is that
His
yeah.
show,
Like
his
Jerry
show, the
Seinfeld.
Drew Carey show, the Drew Carey show that he did with the
Mimi?
guy that
Everyone.
he had on Whose Line Is It Anyway, and that Bader guy, and then the fucking other
Wayne
woman.
Brady, Colin.
I'm telling you, it wasn't because Drew Carey was funny. The only reason that show lasted is because them two other guys were fucking
Exactly.
hilarious.
His
Yeah.
supporting
Yeah.
cast is always funnier than him.
Yeah.
Ryan's the funniest one out of all of them. Like Ryan,
Ryan
and
Stiles.
Colin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ryan Stiles and
Yeah.
Colin. I
Mockery.
forget Colin.
Farrell.
Mockery, thank you.
And even, I mean, yes, Wayne Brady had his moments, but
He was better
Yeah.
with the musical portion.
yeah.
Wayne
Yeah.
Brady was better
Brady.
on Chappelle's show.
A couple of quick things in the
Yes.
chat to kind of
Wayne
follow
Brady,
up. Real
Sorry,
quick from
sorry.
the chat, Alpha said, to a degree, that's kind of like a fans boycotted Black Sabbath's 13th album and tour 9 years ago because Bill Ward wasn't the drummer for it. Shit happens. Life goes on no matter who's there or not. Rayshon says, so many shows change their voice actors over the years. So if you don't like it, don't watch it. I don't understand why the voice acting makes a difference in a character. He says maybe he's ignorant.
I
He's not
disagree, Ray Sean. I disagree.
Well,
I
yeah.
don't think it does.
Look at the game
T-
The Last of Us. You take Joel's voice away? Nah.
Oh,
TN Couponer, Beavis and Butthead had trading cards. One of the subsets were Scratch and oh god, that's disgusting. Don't forget about bringing back a ton of old game shows. Yeah, they've recycled game shows quite a bit too, and they didn't even last that long too. But all right, let's switch the gears here a bit. Let's switch over to. Oh, sorry, Gina, was there something else you wanted to?
I was just gonna say when you're talking about replacing the voice actors and stuff, just look how fucking upset everybody got when who they got to play Nathan Drake in the new Uncharted series, and compare that to the voice
Tom Holland?
actors.
Yeah, that's just terrible casting. That entire movie is
Exactly.
shit.
But
But it's not voice. That doesn't
But
mean
it's a bit different because it's an adaptation. But
my
I
whole
get what you're
point-
saying.
Yes, my whole point is people are upset, or fans of Uncharted, because they cast Tom Holland. Not that Tom Holland's not a good actor, he is. But
I'm
Tom
tired of
fucking
Tom Holland. Get that fucking clown off my TV.
And so people are upset about that. Well, people are upset about who they're casting as Bender too. Same fucking thing.
I've seen him in like 12,000 movies. The only good role I've ever seen him in is Spider-Man.
I know Connor wants to move on. I've never seen I've never played the game. I've never
My God,
watched
it's so
any of
good.
it.
So for one thing,
Okay,
you're not a
so-
17-year-old
You
I want
pubescent
one.
baby.
I wanna know.
I
No,
played
my
that fucking
question
game on this
is-
channel.
Okay, that's not my question. No, I
He
don't care
ages
about the
throughout.
game.
He ages throughout the series,
Yes.
but they show him as a
Okay,
kid,
but
and they
how
do show
old
him as
was
like
he?
a 50-year-old man.
Oh my god. So my question is, how old was he when the first game started? When the first game came
Probably
out?
like 30.
Supposedly
Three.
early.
Years
No,
old.
the first game he's supposed to be early 20s.
Out early 20s.
No
Tom
way.
Holland was
Like that?
13
No
or
way.
14 years old.
He's got to be 30, or at least like late
Uh-uh.
20s.
The first game it starts out when he was a kid.
No,
Oh.
no.
You have flashbacks of when he was a kid in the first game, Gina.
Oh,
You're not
motherfucker.
playing
Right.
him as the kid the
Yeah.
entire time.
Yeah.
No, well, not the entire time. You're right. He does have flashbacks. So, yeah, never mind. You're correct.
So I could see them casting him as a younger version of him if that's what they are doing with this movie, but they're
But
not.
then, like, I think
Oh,
their idea was
they
to make
are.
like a series, but he's never gonna grow.
No, they're not.
I
He's
may have
already
opened
full grown.
Pandora's box with that little joke, and I apologize
Tom Holland
profusely.
is already full grown. Okay, he's like a 28-year-old man who
Back in the
acts and
12-year-old
looks
body.
exactly. So he's
He's
a
got
pedophile.
like a fucking 12-year-old's voice too. It's just
Yeah.
like I don't know. I didn't mean to bring that up, but it was just a comparison. You
Alright.
know, I mean, it's just a personal preference for people.
Yeah, voice acting means shit to me.
It means a lot to me.
Well, it
Me
means-
too.
I tried
real
it, to
to
be honest
me.
with you.
Anyway.
Fun little story. I tried it. Anywho, let's switch some gears. Let's do some icebreakers, shall we? So, figured we'd switch up a little bit of the format of the show to kind of get a chance for everybody to getting know each other both inside and out. So I have
My ice
some
girl.
what
What?
So I got some fun questions for everybody to go around and ask the answer to. And you guys can join us too if you guys are joining us in the chat, live here on the channel, live here on the show, which we do, of course, every single Saturday evening. So you guys can, of course, join in on the fun. So that being said, these are going to be just some fun little icebreakers, nothing too crazy. Let's start with the first one. So we'll go around. Favorite season. What is your favorite
Fall.
season of the year?
Fall.
This is
Summer.
fall.
A one where I'm still fucking alive.
What?
No, fall. I love fall. I always have.
It doesn't. There's one of four answers, and that's not one of the four. In fact, that
one
can
where
relate
I'm
to more
still
than one of the four.
alive.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
Fall's I actually love fall.
What's your favorite fall? Fall of man. What? What the fuck? Gina, why summer?
I just enjoy shorts, sundresses, flip flops, warm weather, swimming,
Mosquitoes.
the sun. I fucking love the sun. I live in Minnesota, you guys, so it's like fucking cold. half of the fucking year here, so fuck this place.
So just for the
something.
record, I'm in Massachusetts. Heather, JP are in Wisconsin. Gina's in Minnesota, and Basement's clearly from Brazil. So none of us, notice how none of us chose winter. None of us said winter instantly.
I find winter. I don't.
I mean, winter is
like fall
9
better.
months of the year, and then there's
Hey.
fall.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh, and then you have about 2 weeks of spring where it's just like everything is just melting.
It's like, oh, summer's here, and then you go to sleep, wake up, and it's gone.
Yeah.
I mean,
you get about
I guess we live in the perfect place. We get about 3 months of winter, 3 months of fall, 3 months of spring, and 3 months of summer.
That's the way it
you're
should
fucking
be.
I
right.
mean,
It's
that's
about
technically what we say we get, but it's not.
Here in Minnesota, in a typical year, spring lasts about a month. Then summer lasts about 3 months. Fall usually lasts anywhere between 1 to 2 months, and then
Fall's
the rest of
1
the
month,
time is fucking
almost,
winter.
A month and a half. Like
They do.
we have 5 months of winter basically. We have like a month and a half of spring and a month and a half of fall, and the rest of summer.
I just don't understand how the weather is so fucking drastically different. I live about 5.5 hours away from JP and Heather. Okay.
Yep.
We're
I
farther
don't
south.
understand. But
We're
I
way
understand.
farther south, though.
I understand, but even like, okay, even if you drive straight over, like straight across, going east into Wisconsin, it is still not as cold over there as it is fucking here.
That's
Why?
Not true. That's
Why?
not true. That's not
It
true.
is true, actually. Fucking Google it.
Yeah, because
Geography.
you might be in one of those fucking cold stream areas.
Minnesota, the only other state that gets as cold as Minnesota is Alaska, and sometimes we get colder than fucking Alaska.
Yeah, you get
It's because
ridiculously.
of the amount of water your state has, Gina.
But we have 10,000 lakes, so we're fucked.
You have 10,000 ponds. You don't have 10,000 lakes.
We have
I don't know,
10,000 lakes.
man.
Don't
It
you
has
know,
mosquitoes.
Listen,
It's-
10,000
guys,
Gina,
listen.
Gina wakes
don't
up, goes
you
walks her
dare.
dog, and sees a puddle on the street. Looks like it's 10,001 lakes.
I've
Don't you
seen,
dare. Listen, don't
I've
side
seen
my
the lakes in Minnesota. They're ponds.
How dare you guys size shame my lakes?
They're ponds.
It's not about the size, JP, okay?
The land
God,
of
ain't that the
1,000
truth?
puddles.
Anyway,
Minnesota can't have anything else. We'll give you the 10,000 lakes, even though it's 10,000
Exactly.
ponds.
We have Great Lakes.
You
Okay,
can't
well,
find
hold on.
anything
I
else.
did not think that when I asked the simple fucking question of what everyone's favorite goddamn season in, that it would turn into a fucking brawl for all over Gina's fucking lakes. Anyway,
They're puddles, okay? They're puddles.
Listen,
Ray,
the bigger
Rayshon's
ones are up north, okay?
Rayshawn and Jurgen actually said in the chat winter. Alpha said summer as well. Tian Couponer says fall.
Okay,
Tian Couponer.
so Alpha says summer because it's summer where he lives most of the time.
Yeah,
Because-
Well, Alpha says
Yeah,
he's rather
down
sweat
here-
than freeze, which I give you that
Yeah.
much. I'll give you that much.
in Louisiana, you have spring, then you have summer, then you have fucking roasting hell, then you have mild summer, and then you're back to spring
We
again.
we don't really have a
Oh,
spring
sounds
here.
Interesting.
if you have ever been in a state, trust me, Alpha, you don't know what it's like to be cold.
We
Like cold.
we don't have
Yeah,
a
like-
we don't have a spring really here. Like spring is like depressing and up over here.
Spring is just wet and juicy.
It is.
Spring
Yeah,
everywhere on the northern east coast is just
It,
All right,
it's
you're
dirt.
good.
It's dirty freezer. It's dirty freezer water. That's the best way I can
Well,
describe.
Spring is
Uh,
the melting of
Here.
winter.
Yeah.
It's gross.
That's
Uh,
because they need the land has to, you have to,
Absorb it.
the trees have to bloom. How are they gonna bloom? They just ain't gonna bloom. You gotta get them wet, so it's gonna rain.
And I
You
think
should
when I
you should
say-
do like a fucking nature show. The trees need to bloom. How are they gonna bloom? They don't need to bloom. You gotta get them wet.
I think that when I
Look at
say
this fucking
summer,
turtle. This turtle just gonna end up here.
oh my god. I
Nature,
get
TP in my
JP.
fucking bunghole, you know?
I get to see JP fucking stopping on a road. What the fuck is this turtle doing here?
This
You
is a
don't
lake.
belong here.
This is a lake. He pulls out the fucking measuring tape. This is a pond. This is a fucking pond.
He walks around with a fucking clicker counting all the lakes.
I know, and a measuring tape, and for some reason he's got like a hardware belt on. See
Oh
this
my-
tree? It didn't bloom by
This
itself.
sounds like the new version of fucking red green.
Oh! Science!
It
That's how
sounds
he
like-
end, That's how he ends the show. Science, motherfucker. Puts on a beanie and the credits roll.
I
This is
haven't.
a new version of red green that I never knew I needed, but I need it.
I was gonna ask
think
5
it's
icebreaker
so
questions
big.
that I was gonna ask 5 icebreaker questions that I thought would take like 5 minutes, but fuck. Okay, here we go.
I
Oh
would,
my
I would watch
God.
that show.
Oh my god, that'd
Oh
be
my
great.
god, that was fucking great.
The
All right.
nature of things. with JP.
No, it's the
No,
nature of
stop.
things and shit. That's
You just
how it
hear him-
goes.
You hear him yelling in the background, motherfucker.
No, you hear him yelling in the background when like someone else is like interviewing to like back up his claims. He's just fucking yelling off. And I don't know, like an animal
That's
took
what I
his
said, you
food.
fucking asshole.
Oh my fucking god! All right, here's another icebreaker question.
Math.
What was your
Next.
worst? What was your worst subject in school? Worst subject
Math.
in school?
Math.
Science.
Science, motherfucker.
I'm taking it back.
You ever seen the movie Internship?
Oh
This
my god.
scares the shit out of me.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
But I can do calculus like there's no tomorrow.
Oh my god.
Heather, what was yours?
Math.
Why is everyone fucking? God.
Hate
Calculus, man. I can teach calculus to a fucking 3-year-old.
Wait,
Listen,
Connor,
if I
what was
ever
yours?
ever decide to go back to college, JP, don't be surprised if I fucking Discord you and be like, listen, motherfucker, I need to pass algebra.
Hit me up, man. I'm telling you, I told you that. Hit me up when it comes to math.
Right?
Any sort of foreign language class. I took a few of them. I actually took
Oh,
Latin.
yeah.
I took Latin for 7
Spanish.
years.
Man, I took advanced French, and literally the way I passed that course was through a French translator on the computer.
I think it would say Muzzy. You remember Muzzy, the fucking? Now your kid can learn any language. With like an animated
Muzzy?
cartoon.
It
and
sounds
shit.
like a racial slur.
No, you don't know what Muzzy is? Hold on.
No,
No, look, Google it.
I don't want to.
Yeah, you might want. Oh, I hate crimes. Never mind. I'm gonna move on. Anyway,
Flagged by the cops.
all right. Here's favorite day of the week. What is your favorite day of the week?
Saturday?
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything JP said. I just heard.
Oh, me either.
Hump day. Hump day is
My favorite day of the week? I really don't have one, to be honest.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Anything
mean,
that's a good
I
day.
was like, Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday. I'm gonna say Saturday.
Because
I'm
of
gonna go
no
with the
fucks
weekend.
given, motherfuckers.
Friday is usually a pretty fun day for me. Heather? Friday is her day.
Yeah.
Saturday. Well, Saturday.
I mean, I work sometimes on the weekend, so it's kind of hard for me to like say always Saturday because like today I worked, so it's kind of tricky. But yeah, I'd say probably Saturdays because it's usually a little more loosey goosey.
Oh, look in the chat. They said, Jurgen said algebra. Rayshawn said science. Tian Couponer said English. English.
So funny
I
enough,
love
I was
English.
actually really good at math. That's why I was kind of surprised when everyone's like, I hated math. I'm like, I really actually. I was an
was math
AP.
retarded.
I was an AP
When
calculus 2 in freshman year, and it's only because I didn't like ask for it. They're like, go. You don't need to be in this class. Like fucking go.
Yeah, I had AP English. I had AP History. I had AP fucking Science. The only class that I didn't have AP classes in was math.
So for weekdays,
What the hell does AP stand for?
It's college level classes.
yeah, it's applied practice, I think.
you know
is
what?
Yeah.
I actually want to see here what that actually stands for. 'Cause I
It's-
forgot.
I think JP's right. It's applied practice or something like that. Because it's.
Are you talking about like the final grade of high school? Like, what were we talking about? Here?
No,
Oh, I started taking AP classes in 10th grade.
AP classes are college prep classes, actually.
Oh, so I guess it would be like we had like advanced and
Yeah,
no,
it's advanced
advanced
placement.
Advanced
Yeah,
placement.
okay.
Yep. I'm sorry, not a podcast.
Yep.
So we
I
had
don't-
the same
I gotta
thing.
quit
I
drinking.
guess.
Yeah.
It is advanced placement, and it's just all it is
I
really.
mean, I was a
is-
retarded kid, and that grew into a
It's just
retarded
college prep
adult.
classes.
It's just college prep courses.
Alpha said for his Saturday favorite day is Saturday, hands down. Jurgen Friday, T and Couponer Sunday because new couponing deals, and Rayshawn Wednesday because it's payday. I mean, hey, who doesn't love payday, right?
That is
Let's go collect
very
200.
fair.
You know what I'm saying?
That's a very good reason for Hump Day to be your favorite day, Rayshawn.
Let's see what we got here. This one says favorite. Okay. We may not watch a channel anymore per se because now with streaming services and everything like that. But back in the day, did you have a favorite TV channel that you watched?
Oh God.
I didn't really have a favorite channel. I had my favorite shows, and they were scattered to different channels.
Yeah, they were all
I
over
watched,
the place.
I
I'd
watched
say-
whatever somebody else chose. I didn't have a choice.
Here's the thing. I think I have two different ones, like at different ages. When I was a kid, it was UPN because UPN always had like the scary movies and stuff on the weekends, and they always had a decent lineup during the week. But when I was a teenager, it was definitely MTV.
Yeah, for Daria and shows like that.
Yes.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, they're rebooting Daria too.
They have the original Daria on Paramount Plus. I'll stick with that.
Yeah.
They're rebooting everything. Whatever it is, they're rebooting it. Just don't worry.
I would say
I guess
as a kid,
YTV or I didn't. Did you guys have YTV?
we had a variation. We had a
YTV?
variation of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a lot. Like this was back when I was like a really young kid. They had like Ninja Turtles and fucking. remember
Yeah.
that
It was
Zelda
basically, I
show?
think,
Mario, the
Isn't that
Mario show.
UPN for us?
no, that would have been like, that would have been a combination of like kids WB or Fox Kids.
Yeah.
Which I mean,
But
those channels had some
WB.
fucking great lineups. Jesus Christ, they had some great shows.
That's my choice because Saturday morning cartoons. Yeah.
same, but like Kids WB, what the fuck channel was it on? Because I watched that shit out at my grandpa's house, and he only got 3 channels.
Back in the
So,
day,
YTV.
If I remember back in the day, this is
Yeah,
New
it was
York.
Channel
So
3.
in New York, back in the day, Kids WB, I think was on channel 11.
it was 12 for
Well,
us.
my-
So
Well, it was
Yes.
either 3 or
YTV
12
was
for us,
channel
which was
25.
UPN.
Here.
that would have been Fox. Well, no, well, they're fucking different country.
Fox
It's
was
an
UPN.
amalgamation because it's a Canadian channel that probably just bought the rights to different
Yeah,
shows.
it's distribution rights
Yeah.
and all that shit.
Yeah.
This one I saved for last because I thought this would be the one that would start the most shit, not which is everyone's favorite fucking season. Was do you believe in any conspiracy theories?
Yes. I don't know.
He said it with such conviction. and
Yeah,
then he-
like-
I don't know.
I mean,
I think most the problem with conspiracy theories is I just don't have the effort
Time.
or time to look into them to
Yes,
get to the
maybe.
end result of being like it might be true.
The question is, does anybody have
I
believe in any conspiracy?
I would-
What was the previous question?
Any favorite TV channels as a kid?
Any favorite TV channels as a kid? I'm gonna answer that one, and then I'll answer the
Oh, yeah,
next
yep,
one.
go for it.
I was busy.
Making Christmas sounds in the kitchen.
Yes,
with
I was.
fucking
I
rattling
was
beer
fucking
bottles.
I was reindeering it in the fucking kitchen.
science. Good.
Fucking reindeer.
So my favorite channel actually was public television.
Ooh, PBS.
Yeah,
Ooh, shit.
'cause that's where we all saw Magic School Bus, Arthur.
That's me straight.
Well, for me, it was Mr. Rogers.
Oh no.
Yes, I love Mr.
Hey, I grew
Roger
up on that
Now,
shit. That was one of my
Come to
first
find
favorite
out,
shows.
the guy's a pedophile.
He's
So
not.
Come sit on my lap, Sonny. Don't worry.
How dare
That's
you
just
take
right.
his name?
Trolley.
it was. You're gonna. This is funny. The science shows because my grandfather.
Mr. Wizard.
When my grandfather loved science, and it's probably why I hate science. It bores
I
me.
love science.
I love
Science is how is science boring and math intriguing?
They're hand in hand, my
I
friend.
just,
Math is just fucking numbers. Science is like
There's letters. Fuck you.
Application of those numbers.
The
the letters can
application
fuck
is,
off. Imaginary
That's what
numbers.
fucked me up. That's what fucks me up.
Like, we're
with
just gonna
math.
put a little imaginary number here. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna put a little imaginary fist up your ass.
No, without those
Fucking
imaginary
math.
numbers, a lot of the science that you have today would not be figured out.
Listen,
Oh,
with
They-
math,
they do work together.
So,
Listen, no, they don't, because like
yes,
with
they
math,
do. Yes, they
fuck
do.
that, because nope, my brain does not compute.
Mhm.
Well,
There's
there's a
Yolanda.
problem. You won't let your brain compute it because you don't think it's real. You're just
It's
like my
imaginary.
brother.
That's a conspiracy theory that I don't believe in.
Do I believe in any conspiracy theories? I believe in conspiracy theories about as much as
Was 9/11 an
Joe
inside
Biden
job?
knows what the fuck
No.
he's doing. I don't.
Here's the thing, there's certain ones that have some plausibility, but there's also certain
all
ones
do.
that are like, well, yeah,
It's
I
the
mean,
government,
an
So
argument can be
I
made
will
that
say yes to some of them.
yeah, an argument can be made that there's definite plausibility out of them.
Of course.
But
But
there's some of them that are
plausibility.
just so fucking ridiculous that
Ra-
it's like, what?
Rayshon's like, oh hell yeah, I believe some conspiracy theories in the chat. I mean, I'm not asking for like details like specifically because God knows, but like, yeah, like kind of like the Gina's point, like there are some that's like, okay, like I could see that as a possibility. I'm not like gonna be like
I'm
looking
not
to
gonna be
make
a
sure.
proponent for it and yelling on the streets.
Yeah, right.
You know,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I
believe the conspiracy theories are actual. Again, they're theories.
mean, yeah, but
If anybody-
some of them are like
Well, it
grounded
makes you think,
in
yeah.
relative truth.
If anybody
So,
wants
like-
to hear a fucking argument for a conspiracy theory, just go look at fucking Drew's show with the JFK episode. I'm sorry, Basement. What were you saying?
I know, it's plausibility.
JP, that was a fucked up night.
Lee Harvey Oswald shot.
I think-
He
listen, I
developed
think that-
Parkinson's.
Oh,
That night, JP and I could have gone around and around and around in a fucking circle for the whole night with that shit.
The grassy knoll came to life.
It transformed into fucking Optimus Prime. Like, okay.
With
It was
that being
I.
with that being said, let's switch gears back over to unless anybody else wanted to say anything else about conspiracy theories before we.
She's like me.
I don't I believe in them enough. Like my mind is open to them.
The
Some
ones
of them
that
it's
are
close,
there,
dude.
the
That aren't
theories that are
ridiculous.
out-
Some of them are ridiculous. Let's be real. Like
The
a
ones that are
Sasquatch
out-
killed Lincoln or something. Like, you know.
the ones that are out there that there hasn't been another more plausible answer for, I could see and believe in a bit more than other ones that are out there, if that makes
That
sense.
looks like saggy boobs.
What?
The show Wendy's.
Wendy's watching Arpo on the TV,
What
and
the hell is Arpo?
It's a cartoon.
it's a CGI cartoon with a robot as a nanny, and well, this kid got into an inflatable suit, is now stuck in a door, and it showed a shot where it's just her feet hanging down, and that's where
It
looks like saggy boobs
looks like
came from.
saggy boobs.
Saggy boobs. All
You ever, hear
right.
that, you ever hear that joke of the old woman who tried to kill herself, and the doctor's like, "Well, if you want to make sure you do a clean shot, make sure you shoot under your left breast." And so she was later rushed to the hospital with a bullet wound in her left knee. That being said, let's move on to the next category, which this one is going to be. I'm curious JP's thoughts on it because it does deal with apparently a lot of backlash involving ESPN. Apparently, there was there's an expose going on about it where there's apparently a lot of whistleblowers. There's the video for the, like, I guess the preview of it is linked down in the description of this video here on YouTube, where it's basically a lot of either I think it's all current anchors talking about like either or other people working for ESPN about blatant racism, about discrimination in this. I mean, this is kind of surprised this hasn't gotten a lot of attention considering this is a couple of days old.
I believe the main guy, the first whistleblower that's in there, is actually a producer that was recently let go.
Yep.
Okay. I was trying to get more detail.
He's the one that got.
Because it's a sports news program, so
Okay.
they're
So here's the thing with ESPN. Ever since all this #MeToo shit started, they jumped on the fucking bandwagon. They like if LeBron James
Hashtag Me
basically-
Too is gonna devour themselves.
It is, but LeBron
Okay.
James says something, and ESPN's like, "You're goddamn fucking right." I'm on that shit like.
The Lord and
right on
Savior
our way.
just said it.
That's what I'm getting at. When Aaron Rodgers came out and did his thing and didn't agree with what was going on in the world, ESPN's like, "I hate this motherfucker. He needs not fucking be anywhere near a football field."
Okay.
They are worse than CNN. Sorry. They are worse than CNN. And apparently, the only reason that they're doing this is to stay relevant. Watching this, I can wholeheartedly believe this because ESPN has really. You can tell. They had Rachel Nichols was taken off of the NBA Finals because she had apparently said something. And it goes back to the Hulk Hogan thing, where she
Mania.
was recorded without approval.
Brother.
So she is blacklisted because people cannot fucking leave well enough the fuck alone. I don't
Doesn't it
care
just
what
show
she...
you that like people will say whatever they want when the camera's not on, so that everybody's like this fucking nobody's a fucking saint.
No,
Stop
but
stop
you-
stop
but-
stop judging people on the fact that they're angels. Nobody is.
No,
It's not even just that. It's also the fact of headquarters at ESPN themselves are taking this to the point that if you just sit there and say, well, I don't like what she's wearing, if she just happens to be a black person, the person who said it is then fired.
Yeah.
it's
I mean, I
it's.
probably wouldn't say that to somebody anyway. I don't like what she's
I would.
wearing.
I
I don't
would.
care. Yeah, I mean, unless it was like some sort of like
Well,
what she was wearing was like a Klan's
these
outfit or some shit.
It's not even just that. These people are on camera. So if it's the lighting guy saying that because the lighting is making it hard for the cameras to pick
Or
up
the
the actual
costume
face,
person. But they
right?
dress them there, right? So whatever.
Who is the lady that I really fucking hate on fucking ESPN? She's an anchor.
I don't-
You know what I'm talking
Why
about.
do they call them anchors?
Because it's a sports news broadcast, so they are news
Journalists.
anchors for the
So
sports.
they
Yeah,
do
no, but like
like
the word anchor for that job makes.
I don't know. It's because they're the ones that hold the show in place. And
Yeah, I
lead
was
it
just gonna say
correctly.
that.
the news portion of it, because they do talk news. They have like an hour show and they have different people on there, and I don't know.
The
They-
term anchor or
Fine.
anchorman are derived from the usage common in relay racing, specifically the anchor leg, where the position is typically given to the fastest or most experienced competitor on a team.
That's a weird.
Useless fact of the day,
but that's
folks.
what they call- that's just what they call them. I don't think that any of them are anchors.
word
I
offends
would
me.
never hire any of these fucking people. I would never hire any of these
It's just
people.
how it is.
Stop
would never
dropping a-
hire-
Stop dropping a hard A, okay?
I would never hire any of these people to fucking give any fucking input.
They're just
on anything.
fucking. They just most of the time they're told what to say. Let's be real.
They are.
Well, yeah, 'cause
I
it's
don't know
called
what the
a tool
controversy.
prompter.
So ESPN, what are they all like fucking saying
So-
racial slurs?
The
Yeah, let me-
controversy is plain and simple. There is a lot of racism going on within the company, and it's not just directed at the people who are black. It's also being directed at the white people that are working there.
But I heard
Which
racism
is-
can only.
Yeah,
racism-
one-sided.
I thought racism can only be one-sided.
Oh my
No,
God.
that's what you think, and that's what you've been told, but that's not true.
There's like 18 different definitions of racism, and that's when you know if things got fucked
It's
up.
the most ridiculous portion of it.
So there is a Twitter called Expose ESPN. It's literally that's what it's called, and they posted this video on February 8th,
Original.
which I'm not going to be able to play just because, well, not only copyright
It's
issues,
ESPN, but
but because God forbid ESPN's going to come after us anyway. But you hear like Elisa Lang, who's an ESPN reporter, saying, she says, I mean, it's just blatantly racist shit. let me just pull up the exact quotes here. I'm just trying to just blatantly like complaining to me that we have 3 white hosts. Do I not deserve to be here? And we just saw with the Maria Taylor and the Rachel Nichols situation exactly. And like I said, at the end of the day, they're choosing between us and social media reaction. With Eric Swanson saying in we're ESPN, we're meaning ESPN, not in the social shit business. And then you have Nick Calabrese, who's one of the lead audio comm specialists, saying like, especially with the BLM movement, they, ESPN, dove into that to try to be like a face for it and all, but they did the same kind of it. But then at the same time, it kind of backlashed because now they have to do it for everything. And then the company has set it up where you can't say anything because they immediately turn around and scream racism. And I'm not going to read the entire thing. It goes on and on, but you can check out the video. Like I said, link is in the description. But it's just a lot of shady, underhanded stuff. Like there's threats and everything. It's just it's
Well,
just a mess.
as soon as you start, like, I don't know, the
it
Me
sounds
Too
like-
movement is going to eat itself alive
It is.
That's what started
because
it.
there's
But
zero
then-
tolerance for anything, and that's just not how people work.
Well, that's where it started, and then the Black Lives Matter thing fucking, and they
Yeah,
fucking jumped on that.
I mean, the Me Too movement hasn't just affected racial stuff either. You look at like Ellen DeGeneres, people were getting mistreated at her show, and she got called out for it, and it was during the whole Me Too thing, and she's still trying to fucking fight back for her career. Which mainly she was not the one doing it, but she knew that it was happening, and she was allowing her producers and other people backstage to do this to other workers. So everybody's getting hit by it. It's not just racist
It's
stuff.
not just ES. Well, it's.
I mean,
not
I think some of the times too, it's like they some things are real and some things aren't.
Mm-hmm.
But when they start counting the things that
Right.
aren't real as real, it's gonna fucking implode.
Oh yeah, and like
Hence a conspiracy theory.
well,
There you go.
some things
And you
that I
better
have
believe it, baby.
some things that I have heard, it's kind of like people are whining, and it's kind of like, really? But that's part of your job. Like, oh, my boss yelled at me. But when it goes to the extent that it was with Ellen DeGeneres, for instance, not
Yes.
her personally, her staff, that
Actually, I
was
heard it was her personally in some cases.
Oh, was it? Okay, well, regardless of which, about her staff at least, I heard that it was really fucking bad. So in situations like that, I can understand. Or with ESPN, if the racism is that bad, then they should be called out for it. But in other instances,
Go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
No, she's done. You can go now.
Kurt Schilling was fired from ESPN for supporting Donald Trump. Just for being a supporter of Donald Trump.
Yeah, see, I don't see that.
No, that actually happened.
No, but what I'm saying is I don't
No,
agree with that.
that is
No,
yeah,
right.
that's
That's
completely wrong.
invading someone's personal choice.
Yeah,
Exactly. Your politics have nothing to do with your work ethic.
exactly. People didn't like working with him because he became a politician himself. In fact, he ran for office. But they didn't want him being there because he was a Trump supporter and they didn't want him to bring it to work. But he never did.
Right?
He was a baseball analyst. What the fuck does Donald Trump have to do with baseball analyzing? Nothing. Absolutely fucking nothing. ESPN is so far up their own ass, they can't pull it out.
Right.
She wants to wash her hands.
They're tasting their own uvula. No, I mean, I'm right there with you. I think, like you and Basement said, they're going to basically self-destruct. I mean, there's only so much, especially in a bigger company like that shit like this is going to unfortunately happen. And once it gets out, it's going to not look, especially considering ESPN is owned by,
Yeah.
Everything's owned by
Who the fuck is
Disney.
Disney.
Oh.
She's like, oh, I got that. I just need to go,
Oh, I'm like, is it their own
so-
orgasm? What?
I mean, aren't we
Yeah,
all?
there's things coming out about Disney as well. Like he was this rampant fucking racist himself. Meanwhile, most of his movies had at least 4 or 5 black people in them on a regular basis.
and his movies were black and white.
The only time I watch ESPN is when there's a football game on, the Milwaukee Bucks are playing, or the Green Bay Packers are playing, or the Brewers are playing. That's it. Otherwise, I don't fucking watch. I'm
I
watching.
haven't watched ESPN in fucking years. I could care less.
Espin.
Da-na-na,
Yeah, I watched
da-na-na.
it for drag racing, but I haven't watched drag racing in years. So
I know it's hard for them women to run. So, with
them heels, queen. Them heels.
Listen here, bitches.
Oh
my God, JP's making me want to pitch more shows with him now.
Listen, any drag queens that may be listening, I'm so sorry.
What? That was funny.
Love
Th-
you.
Speaking of funny, this was, I think Gina was the one. I can't remember who posted this article. This is really not much to talk about other than just how fucking hilarious this is. With Nick Cannon, who posted this
Oh
one?
yeah, it was Gina.
Okay, that was Gina.
Oh yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, Nick Cannon was recently announced. He's having his eighth child. And as a fun little gesture and gift, I'm gonna try and see if I can pull up the photo here and pull it up on the
man
channel.
can't pull out of his own driveway.
I mean, you can't pull out.
Trying
Period.
to go for the world record of fathering children at this point.
He's trying to outdo Octomom. All right.
Yeah, seriously. Nick Cannon gave him the wonderful. Nick Cannon was gifted by Kevin Hart the wonderful gift of a condom vending machine. Can't make this shit up. So I'm gonna try and pull up the photo here. I mean, that's fucking hilarious. I mean, hell,
I really don't know what he's thinking with trying to do all of this, considering all the money he has right now. It's just gonna vanish into thin air by the time every one of these kids go to college.
Nick
Wait,
Cannon
wait.
is like one of the richest people in the world.
Here's the funniest part about this. Okay.
that
Funniest
guy
part
is super rich. He came from money too, I think.
The fun. Okay, so it's heart. It's like fucking heart wrenching, but then leads into funny. Okay, because Nick Cannon lost his youngest child last year. His youngest son died of, I believe, cancer or something
Brain
like that.
cancer.
Maybe yes. So he loses his youngest son, and then he comes out with this whole fast forward a few months, and he comes out with this whole I'm gonna be celibate thing, right?
Mhm.
Well, his dick's in a vagina.
Hold on. I'm gonna be celibate. Okay, fine. Well, now it comes out that this girl's pregnant, and then he backtracks and he says, "Oh, she got pregnant before my celibacy started."
And then girl 2, 3, 4, and 5 showed up. Yeah, here's your baby.
Fucking Nick Cannon's a fucking clown.
He's a fucking man whore. Like somebody needs to fucking
I don't know. I feel like he's in the same
forced
boat as
bisectomy should be a thing.
what the fuck's his face from WWE? That
Ric Flair?
no, the black fucking commentator.
Byron Saxton.
Yeah, they're like both like not black people.
So it says here, Nick Cannon has been married once and has had 7 children with 4 women and expecting the 8th with a 5th woman.
2 of which are with Mariah Carey, who he was married with.
Yep. His fraternal twins with Mariah Carey. After 6 marriages, they pair separated and filed a divorce. Briefly reunited in 2015, but then divorce finalized in 2016. Cannon has 2 children with
Christmas must suck for this guy outside of like having to give all those gifts to the kids. Hearing your ex constantly singing on the fucking radio.
God. You recorded her practicing, and it's literally her just wailing at the top of her lungs at the highest pitch she can carry for 20 fucking minutes. I would have shot myself after the first minute.
I mean, she has a great voice.
She does have a really good voice. Except for when she hits those really high notes, it doesn't sound like a high note to me. It sounds like fucking screeching. Oh god.
Speaking of singing, nice little segue there. See, I can pull these segues off sometimes as MC, motherfucker.
I'm gonna get you a Segway for your birthday.
I will fucking crash those things. I do not trust myself on those goddamn death machines. You seen like the TikToks where like people are like trying them out, it's like, oh, and they just fucking they're gone. Like I have no idea.
Be JR's wife.
I get it because my kids have one. They have 2, one each.
I've never even seen one. They're like
Oh, no,
mythical,
I'm
technological beasts.
You have the hoverboard, Gina.
I'm thinking of a hoverboard. Same difference, whatever. But I got on a hoverboard and I fucking just
Put a
like
pole on it.
okay. I don't even want to know what a Segway would do. I don't even want to know.
So
Well,
anyway,
the Segway at least have handles.
Yes, Paul.
Yeah.
Yes. Why did?
Oh, brr, brr, brr.
Furniture.
If we're just registered, put me.
help me,
I
Jurgen.
told you guys that's my impending stroke. Okay,
I
but
don't know. You have like you're dropping random R's. Paul, brr, brr, brr.
That Swedish chef.
that was Paul Blart Mall Cop is what I thought of immediately when you fucking said that.
What?
Like a Segway is basically just a hoverboard with handles. It's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, you put a pole on it.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean I would take a Segway over a fucking hoverboard because at least with the Segway you have fucking handlebars to hang on to. Hoverboard, you don't have shit. I stepped on that thing and my kids are like zooming around on this motherfucker, right? Just in and out of the rooms, zooming all over the place. We take it outside, get on the sidewalk, and I just immediately start spinning in a circle. And I'm screaming and laughing at the fucking
I'm
top of my
doing
lungs.
it.
And mom is screaming at me, going, "You have to put weight on the other foot." And I'm going, "I'm fucking trying." And I'm dying laughing. Meanwhile, I fly off. My son has to fucking catch me.
And Gina cruises by. I'm Paul, brr, brr, brr.
But anyway, on to what you were going to try and bring up there,
Oh my
Connor.
god, I'm sorry. I'm
No, I
sorry.
have to wait a second because now I just put a GIF of Swedish Chef on the screen, and I have to let that get up there for at least a few moments while that takes place. Ah, it's beautiful.
Me fucking spinning in a circle, screaming for my kid,
Derp.
saying I'm fucking trying.
Yeah, I can't do those segues. But one segue I can try and do is the segue into, speaking of singing and whatnot, is the I hate this world sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's revolving around the TikTok article. So apparently there is a TikTok out there where, and I can't even believe that these are fucking like
People?
this is something we have to, yeah, like anyway, the story is that a family of TikTokers is going viral after they did the sing-along style ice cream order, right? So they go in and they're going to an ice cream parlor, and I mean, it's just like, it's a nice thing where they're like, you know, they're singing and they're performing in, you know, and in various situations. And of course, one film they filmed right before the holidays is them just singing their order, singing out their ice cream orders because there was a challenge that somebody gave them, right? So they do it and, you know, requesting various flavors. Meanwhile, the shop's employees are just staring there and listens. And the clip ends with them like saying, you know, "Hey, can you repeat the order? Can you say it one more time?" Which is, you know, okay, funny, whatever. But then it's like, people, I hate people sometimes. They're like, "Why did y'all have to do this to this poor employee? They have to stand there to pretend like to be uncomfy or annoyed. I hope y'all tipped well. Just leave the service workers alone, man. Like, this man does not get paid enough to deal with this. Like, what? Why? Why are people getting upset?"
I actually am upset. I would run out and fucking spear them through the wall. If you work in a busy store, what you want to do is have nobody. I don't want interaction with you. I don't want you to sing to me. I
Yeah.
want you to come in, get your ice cream, and get the fuck out, and then I'm gonna relax.
Right. First things first, if I was in there and they started singing their order, I would walk up, I would smack them all in the back of the fucking head and say, "Really? If you want to sing your order, at least hand them the fucking thing that you want and then go ahead and fucking sing it. I don't want to listen to you sing ever, even though they might have great voices. I don't know why people do these things. This is why I hate TikTok."
Yeah. Well, that's why they're doing it. TikTok.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I know my first initial reaction was to say I want to punch them in the face, but that's just because, you know, they're singing.
I want to punch them in the face because that's what they
In
do everywhere they
reality,
go.
I have worked in fast food
So have I.
retail pretty much my entire fucking life, and it wouldn't bother me. Honestly, it wouldn't bother me. I would, if anything, I would probably start laughing and be like, "Oh, that's cute," you know. It wouldn't bother me because they're just a family that's trying to have fun. I think people sometimes are too fucking serious And
I think the
sometimes
difference though is
take a minute and just like fucking enjoy something.
I think the difference is where you're working, because
Depends on how busy you are.
every job I've ever worked is extremely busy because the
Yeah.
population size is big. So like,
And
I
I'm the
mean,
opposite,
if these
so-
fucking people show up and they're singing and I'm getting a lineup behind them, like, shut the fuck up! I swear to
Well,
Christ.
Yeah,
Well,
and
I
that's
mean,
the
it-
difference right there because
Yeah,
like
and-
I live in a small town, so yes, I work fast food and retail and all this other stuff, but there was never our busy times were probably a normal slow period for basement.
I mean, it could be considered annoying. I get that, but at the same time, it's like, listen, there have been far worse, more rude, and much more annoying people that I've dealt with. In fact, especially if they came and it's like, hey, listen, we're doing this thing for TikTok. You mind if we just like sing this
They
real
did
quick?
that. That's
You know what I
that's
mean?
a bit different. I'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, cool, whatever. But if they just started fucking singing and recording me, I'd be like, what the fuck is this?
That's a different, yeah, that's a whole different conversation. I agree with you on
yeah,
that
and
one.
here's the thing too. It's how busy you are and common courtesy, I guess. Like, listen,
If-
I walked into a fast food
If
restaurant.
someone
or
just
something,
came up to you and started singing to you,
Unless
first
it was
of all, I'd
Billy,
be
unless it was Billy on the
No.
streets, leave me alone. That man's fucking
I don't
hilarious.
know. I guess I over the years you get so used to fucking seeing just like I would rather deal with somebody singing to me than deal with a fucking Karen that comes in. Like, I would
Um,
rather have them sing to me than
I
yell
just,
at me.
I want to become like a cog in the machine, and that job is just, here, what do you want? I'm gonna get it. Here, get the fuck out. What do you want? I'm gonna get it. Here, get the fuck out.
Well, here's the thing. Would you rather have somebody come in and sing to you and like this little light fluffy song that they're singing with their order, or would you rather have somebody come in and deal with somebody yelling at you?
I would rather deal with somebody yelling at me than
I'd
coming
rather
in all
deal
happy,
with neither of them.
lucky, fucking telling me, singing to me in fucking.
Yeah. It's kind of like I fucking hate my when I'm at work
But you
and
guys
especially
need
when I
to
was at work in
smile
those
more.
places I'm like, I fucking hate my life, and these fucking cheery ass clowns come in.
what were you gonna say, Heather?
They're like, fuck you.
As a person who has social anxiety, I can't take people singing happy birthday to me in public.
I don't like it either.
Having that happen to me? No. You need to leave now or I'm going home.
Yeah,
But it's the
I
fact
have
that they do
anxiety
it
and shit,
everywhere.
but I guess
Like
I guess
these TikTokers, they do it everywhere they go.
I dealt
Yeah.
with so much shit. Living in a small town and working at fucking Hardee's, I dealt with so much shit coming in and out the door. It was nothing for somebody to come in and fucking start singing
you.
or somebody to come in and do some stupid shit. So I'm a little bit more used to it.
I hear you. Because I lived in a town about the same size. I grew up, we had a McDonald's, had a Hardee's, same size. If somebody came in and started singing, I want a Big Mac, I would like grab the fucking Big Mac out of the bin because I worked at McDonald's when you put 6 Big Macs in a bin and let it sit there for 10 minutes, even though it sat there for a fucking hour.
I'm
And I
hungry.
would take it out and literally fucking throw it at them. I don't want fucking people coming into me and singing to me that they want a Big Mac.
I guess it just-
Motherfucker, I haven't eaten in fucking 8 hours and you're sitting there all happy that you're gonna get a Big Mac. Fuck
Would probably
you.
be my
didn't-
reaction. Sorry, basement. This would be my reaction. If they come in and they start singing, say somebody comes in and I want a Big Mac, whatever, start singing. Chances are, instead of getting pissed off at them, I'm just gonna look at them like, okay. Do you want fries?
I think it depends. Like I think it depends on if they just came in randomly and started the whole thing, or if they said to them before, "Hey, listen, we're doing this TikTok." Because that's what I would do personally.
Well,
That's what I
if you
have
saw
done in the
that
past when I've
video,
done.
The guy was kind of like confused as to what was happening, so they definitely did not.
Yeah,
tell
I
him.
was gonna say, yeah, they didn't. Yeah.
He was confused, and the fact that they sat there and took like 30 seconds to do the little sway dance and harmonize first, and then started singing their order. It's just like,
Oh,
You're
yeah,
wasting this
that-
guy's
Yeah.
time.
Here's the thing. There's a time and a place. I didn't buy a ticket to your fucking show. Get the fuck out of here. What do you want?
Like, I
Exactly
think it all
my
depends on
point.
what kind of a mood I'm in that day too, because there's
if
gonna
I'm
be
at
some
work
days.
and that's my job, probably not a good mood.
Yeah.
Well, there's gonna be some days
I-
where I'm gonna be in a
okay,
good mood. Like
so-
even working in fast food, there were some days where I was in a good mood, so I would have handled it.
Oh yeah.
If I'm in a fucking bad mood, I would literally look at him and be like, "Are you fucking done?"
There were times where, I was in a good mood to go and work at McDonald's. Like, we used to sit on the fucking drive-through because I used to work the drive-through, and I would sit on the drive-through and go, 4333, you're ready for takeoff, and then do the sound of the plane taking off. And the fucking manager going, "What the fuck are you doing?" Shh, that wasn't me. You know,
Yeah.
16-year-old kid on a
Those-
fucking drive-through.
But those kind of things are like that. That's like a 10-second, 15-second joke or whatever. This is like some fucking clown family coming in and performing.
I've actually had this happen to me when I was a teenager, when I worked at Hardee's. My son's father, his brother, so my son's uncle, his friends, every fucking Friday and Saturday night, they would come through the drive-through drunk off of their fucking asses. And they would have some random fucking 80s song blaring out the fucking car window, and every single one of them would be serenading me. 5, 6 guys serenading me through the fucking drive-through. So I'm used to it.
You see me?
Different because
That's
they know you. This is just a random family showing up doing fucking. It's like, okay, you know those what are they called? The people that sing Christmas carols down the street and shit.
I like Christmas carolers.
Yeah.
What
I was
is
actually
wrong
going to
with
bring that
you?
up was like, who
Yeah, I closed the
and
door.
who loves Christmas carols, you know?
Mind those people.
Between them and the Jehovah's Witness, I want a fucking automatic snowball machine in the fucking
Honestly,
house.
Honestly,
And just pelt them as they come out.
I don't mind Christmas carolers. I really don't. Like
I've never actually had Christmas carolers, so
I
I
have.
like Christmas carolers. Like
I don't mind
but
that.
but that's a different thing. It's because it's a season.
it's a season and it's an
It's a
actual
season
thing.
to be fucking jolly.
It's
you know
not
what
an
I mean?
actual thing to show up in McDonald's and sing your order. And if it becomes like a normal thing, I hope McDonald's employees start killing people.
Jesus fuck.
See, all I
like
want is I don't want the snowball machine. What I just want, I don't want any lethal weapons. I just want a laser pointer that points right to their head and let them figure out and let them get scared and have them run off. Because I think they'll get the message of, oh, that's a.
What I want is a tomahawk.
Just listen, just use Tim.
It's just ready to kill people.
Tim's better at that.
Flies into the darkness right into the chest of the father.
Doom, doom,
Oh
doom.
my god! Speaking of tomahawk, did you guys ever fucking see that axe throwing shit that they had? Like it's a game that they have.
I mean, there's axe throwing
And
places
I've
up here
done
near me.
axe throwing.
Yeah,
I want to do that so.
it
fucking
is
bad.
fucking
It
fun.
is-
I'll
it
tell you
is
that right
wanna
now.
It'd be
do it
fun. I
so
mean,
bad.
the fun wanes pretty quickly because how many
Yeah.
times can you throw an axe and be like, it's great.
So,
Yeah,
you're
it-
talking
it's
to a
pretty-
girl that would sit for fucking 5 hours at the bar and throw darts. Okay, I can
listen,
do this for hours.
The question but the thing is, you have to ask yourself a question every time you go.
I have to ask myself a question.
I hate you.
Okay.
So the place I went to, it was axe throwing, and then you immediately moved to like bow and arrow.
Yep.
Accuracy
shit.
thing. So it was pretty fun.
Oh,
That was
you
pretty
fucking
fun. It was only like an hour long, 30 minutes at each.
um.
Oh, so yeah, I would.
God
I
damn.
like. I would love to do like I've done the bow and arrow. I've done like the gun range.
Gun
Done
range is
all
awesome.
that stuff. Gun range is fucking amazing. I love
Gun
that.
range.
The axe throwing I was actually surprisingly
And
good at, which I
range.
was surprised at. I'm like, I'm not usually good at anything.
Yeah,
but-
that's just
Yeah, no,
something that
like,
I've always wanted
I
to
think
do.
it's because movies like portrayed shooting guns so difficult half the time. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not that
not.
difficult to be relatively
See, the problem
accurate
was I
with a
wasn't
gun.
holding it from the side. That was my problem.
And I also put myself on the side, laid on the ground.
Ow. All right, last we got one more.
Listen, as long as you have a stiff wrist when you're shooting.
Oh,
Right.
I did. Oh, you
Just
mean the
little
gun?
bit-
You mean the gun?
just a
I'm sorry.
little bit of flexibility in that wrist. You can't be like wobble wrist, because if you have wobble wrist, then you're not gonna fucking hit the
The
target.
shotgun.
Are you
does
talking about
damage
guns
to
still
the
or something
shoulder.
else?
Listen, I'm talking about everything.
Well, true on
You
that
can't have
part.
no wobble wrist when you're doing
That's
the
all I
spiffy.
can. So we're gonna do one more little article here, and then this one's a doozy. And then we'll do a couple more icebreakers as we wrap up this week's episode of No Bucks Given. Real quick, I want to give some love to the chat as well. Alpha says, I stay the fuck away from TikTok and shit like that is why. T and Couponer said, I worked at McDonald's for about 4 years. I hate Tic Tac. These customers always coming in with their Tic Tac orders, says Rayshawn. Glad I worked in factory for the last 16 years. I would start howling, says T and Couponer. Rayshawn, I also hate that the workers always on their phones dancing and singing and shit and don't know how to focus on their work or customer service. Alpha says, JP, if someone was singing to me, I'd rather take one of those trays by the register and smack him in the head with it. And then Rayshawn says, I work at Starbucks. T and Couponer saying, Shaggy, it wasn't me. T and Couponer says, Rayshawn, in two of my grocery stores have Starbucks in them. I mean, yeah, that pretty much echoing kind of what we're saying, like we wouldn't be tolerating that shit if people came in and did that. Like, fuck that noise.
Rayshawn hit it kind of on the head in the opposite sense, because I have gone into coffee shops, fucking fast food restaurants, whatever, and these employees have their cell phones on them and they're doing TikToks while they're supposed to be working, or they're on fucking Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, whatever.
The best thing is when you see those girls that hold the phone up and put their face to the right a bit and they just do these weird poses. I'm like, are you in this world, or
That's called a duck face.
are you in this world, or like in some fucking weird realm that you don't realize you look ridiculous as a human being?
I mean, that drives me
daughter
absolutely
is
nuts.
king.
Like,
My daughter is my oldest is the king of the duck face.
Queen.
oh god, I can't stand.
No,
the
she's the
fucking-
fucking king. If a king could be a girl, because apparently they can be anything they want to be, which is true. She is the
Thanks.
king of the duck face, because some of the pictures I can show you, she can do the duck face.
That's just her natural face.
It is. My daughter looks like a.
Oh my god.
She's the king of the duck face because she was born with the duck face.
Oh my god. No, for me personally, I know you want to move on, Connor, but for me personally, that is like the number one no-no for customer service, is allowing your fucking employees to have their cell phones on them when they are working.
You have to have your cell phone on you in case of emergency.
No, you don't.
No, you don't. There's a fucking listen, I don't care where you are working. If you are working in any kind of retail, fast food based, they are going to have a landline phone there.
Starbucks? No.
Yes, it is.
They do.
Yeah, there is.
Little kiosks in the mall? No.
Yep.
Listen, they all have emergency phones in case there is
No.
an emergency.
Yes, they do.
I mean, I worked at Baskin & Robbins. It didn't have
So
that.
Canada, you're talking about
Inside the
Canada.
mall.
Yeah.
Like,
You're talking about the United States here.
Not only that, but he was working in a mall. You're working in a
Yeah,
mall. Somewhere
so-
in that food court, in said mall, there is a hardwired phone.
It wasn't even in the food court. We were separate.
Whatever. It's somewhere in
Cool.
the mall.
We were too
There was a
cool for the
hardwired
food
phone.
court.
I hate you. I hate you.
So
right,
if those people actually came up and sung to me, I would act like the guy in the video. I wouldn't be in rage. I would just be like,
No,
what the fuck's
that
going on
part,
here?
Alpha. I mean, she does it because my daughter does the duck face just because it was the thing back in the day.
Her lips are so full.
Yeah,
she just
she-
has a natural pouty
She does.
face.
She does.
Same.
It's don't. So, fuck you. I'm just kidding.
We saw how pouty your lips were the other day with that fucking picture that you put of you as a girl. He makes a fantastic girl, mind you guys.
Oh God, don't get me started on that. First of all, I look like the most creepy of what are those old men that are like hanging around like gold mines? You know what I'm talking about? Like a prospector, is that what it is? Like that's what I fucking looked like in a goddamn photo.
I'm just an old man that hangs around gold mines.
Yeah, I'm just old man. You know what the fuck I'm talking about? Like look, it's gold.
Oh my god.
That's what I looked like.
In
But anyway,
2022, what the
yep, yeah, it happens, man.
Yeah,
Speaking of old men,
finished with.
speaking of old men,
Statements. Go ahead.
the
babe.
Biden
Go ahead.
administration's giving out crack pipes.
Who's giving
Yeah.
out crack pipes?
Biden
I am.
administration, my friend. Biden
Oh my
administration.
God.
All right, here we go. Hold on, hold on.
My comment would, my comment about Biden with
Yeah.
the
wrong
whole
with crack
thing.
pipes?
But now is this a thing?
Let me.
Connor,
Explain it.
Okay, it makes sense. We did it here.
All right, here we go.
Go Go ahead. Go
So,
ahead. because-
Per the
oh
article,
my
again, you can
God.
check it out in the description here, as JP is getting super excited for this.
I also have to pee, but I'll stay here. If you
The
hear me
Biden
piss all over the
administration said
place,
Wednesday that
that's-
crack pipes are not included in a safe smoking kit available to nonprofits to reduce infections among drug addicts. Easy for me to say. Prospector voice. According to the Washington Free Beacon, I almost said bacon, a spokesperson for the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services said that it will supply smoking kits for users to smoke illicit substances such as crystal methamphetamine and crack cocaine. To limit infections among drug users, the Biden administration created a $30 million grant program through the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Service Administration for nonprofits to buy equipment, quote, equipment and supplies to enhance harm reduction efforts, an example of which lists infectious disease testing kits, condoms, syringes, and safe smoking kit/supplies. Senator Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee expressed grave concerns over the program in a letter Tuesday to...
Unfortunate last name.
What?
Nothing.
Good unfortunate last name.
Saying government-funded drug paraphernalia is a slap in the face to the communities and first responders fighting against drugs flowing into our country from a wide open southern
Can't
border.
Fight against drugs. We know that.
If this is a president's plan to address drug abuse, our nation is in serious trouble. In response, White House Drug Policy Advisor Rahul Gupta said in a statement, quote, no federal funding will be used directly or through subsequent reimbursement of grantees to put pipes in safe smoking kits. Wow, that's a lot to unpack there.
Why is this even a thing?
It makes
What
sense,
adds-
though. It makes sense because, okay, here's the thing. You can't stop. If you're an addict,
Mhm.
a drug addict, you're
Mhm.
not, like, the only person that can stop you from being a drug addict is you,
Mhm.
right? There's been no proven anything that can
I
stop that.
agree.
So-
I agree.
And the problem is that they tend to fucking share needles and share shit and get super sick. And at least here, because it's public health care, they end up going to the hospital and staying in the
Don't-
hospital until they die.
Don't you think even at the very least it's sending a really bad message?
It is.
It is.
It
Like
is.
what? Like what's the bad
Oh,
message?
go ahead. Fucking smoke whatever.
Go buy your
No.
crack.
Shoot
Go get
whatever.
I agree.
Basement, come
But the
on.
thing is, it's not. They're not going to be deterred regardless. They'll
I
just
get
use
that.
dirty shit.
That's not true. That's not true.
They'll just use dirty shit. A drug addict will fucking suck a dick for fucking
I'm
anything.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but to enable it is
It's not. I don't think the idea is. It's not enabling. It's
It
giving
is
them.
true.
It's giving them
How is
the.
it not? How is it not enabling?
Because they're gonna do it anyway.
So you're enabling.
No, it's gonna
Yes,
happen
you
regardless. It's gonna
You're
happen
giving
regardless.
people free drug kits to do whatever
Okay.
drugs they wish to do.
It's gonna happen regardless.
Okay, well,
That's not true.
well,
It's
okay,
already happening regardless.
hold on. Let me ask this question via basement. So, I get what you're saying. So, but my point
I
is,
mean, I get it, but it's not the
Even-
way to.
even
Go ahead.
even if let's say like you're right, at the end of the day a drug addict's going to do whatever they can, but like at the very least, like I said, it's sending the wrong message. So just not include the fucking pipe. Why would you include the pipe then?
Or the syringe.
I thought they didn't. The syringe makes sense because that's HIV and shit like that. Is pretty, but the pipe, I mean, they
It's
I didn't know they included a pipe.
yeah, that's
I thought you said at the end that they're not
the
including
needle.
pipe.
The needle is kind of walking a tightrope. I'm just going to say that in my
But
opinion, it's
here-
kind of
'cause
walking
here
a
it was-
tightrope.
Here it was needle based.
But no,
that
it's
was what they were giving, right?
it's a smoking pipe.
I mean, what the fuck? You can
That's-
create a smoking
that's-
pipe out of a fucking Coke
and
bottle.
and here's the, well, but my point is that like if you're trying to if you're trying to send the message of, hey, we're trying to get you off of drugs, is providing a tool, clean or otherwise,
For
in
you to get
relation to that drug.
I get,
And that's what I mean by enabling. That's what I mean by enabling.
I have
So,
a personal thing with this.
okay, I just let me. I understand the drug addict is gonna do what a drug addict is gonna do. I get that. I mean, I have seen it. Thank God he doesn't. Well, thank God he doesn't do it anymore. But to sit here and say that, hey, we're going to put these kits in. Here's a meth pipe, and here's a crack pipe, and here's a whatever pipe, or here's a syringe. You're enabling. And to think you're handing them this, and they're like,
So it's legal now?
I don't think that's true.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah, go ahead, Gina.
In my town, there's a lady, very, very nice lady, very sweet lady, okay?
She's a
But
druggie.
she has been on drugs for numerous fucking years, okay? Very, very, very long time. And she was addicted to coke. So it was cocaine and I believe heroin she got into.
Mhm.
And eventually she got to the point where she was so bad that she kept on overdosing, right? So in order to get her off of the heroin and the cocaine, the hospital started giving her, I don't remember what the medication is called, but it's basically the equivalent of like heroin.
Yep.
The hospital started giving her this. She was not paying for this medicine, mind you. The county was paying for this medicine, okay?
Mhm.
She could not function on
Yeah.
her own anymore. She was in an apartment. That's how I knew her, actually. We lived in the same apartment complex at that time. Well, she didn't get any better with them giving her that medicine. She didn't get any better. She became more and more dependent on the medication. Well, eventually she ended up having to get Social Security because she can no longer take care of herself, right? She can't work. Not only did she get Social Security, they're giving her free drugs at the hospital. The county went in and the county bought her a fucking house. So she got a house bought for her. She's got a medical card so that she has all of her medical bills paid. This is the type of behavior that this type of thing is going to instigate. It is a repetitive, it's like playing dominoes. You push one domino down and it's just repetitive fucking action, the rest of them go down.
It's enabling.
Exactly. It's not necessarily, I mean, you're not necessarily saying, oh, hey, here, this is okay. Obviously, the point is we're trying to wean you off of this, so here, take this. But it doesn't work that way. It's sometimes, on rare occasions, it does. But 90% of the time, it is not going to work that way. It is just going to have the drug addict become more and more dependent on said drug.
Yep.
So a drug addict, and this is what I'm getting at. A drug addict will look at this and they'll be handed this kit, right? And they're just gonna be, I'm not a drug addict, but they're gonna be handed this kit, and that drug addict's gonna be like, these motherfuckers handed me a meth pipe. I'm just gonna continue to do meth. You know what? Do as much meth as you want. You remember one of the lines in A Christmas Carol, decrease the surplus population.
Yeah.
Decrease the surplus population. Fuck it. Let them fucking inhale as much shit as they want so they can fucking die.
And I don't want anybody to die, but
I don't want anybody to die either, but if they aren't going to fucking quit, fuck them. If you've done everything that you possibly could to get these people off said drugs, and they're just like, fuck it, now you're just enabling them even more without enabling. See, this isn't even enabling. Do you get what I'm saying?
No. I thought of a very. It's a joke, but it's a very good analogy to the way I feel about it. It's like alcohol swabbing the arm before a lethal injection.
Yes. Why do it?
What the fuck? Like, why? What the fuck? We wanted you to get that last second impact. Like,
the reason it's done is to, at least here, I can't speak for America. I don't know, like, but here it's because we like in America this is the case too. Someone comes in OD'd or dying, they have to take care of them.
Right.
they give
The medical system has to take care of them.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
And the spread of these like viral infections and shit in like the homeless population and the drug addicts is pretty rampant. So giving them, like, they're gonna do it anyway.
I
just getting handed a crack pipe doesn't automatically mean now I'm a crack addict. I'm gonna go do crack.
Yeah, but here's the thing. But here's the thing.
They're gonna do it anyway. They do it anyway.
I can understand it in that aspect with like trying to eliminate.
Even if they didn't give them the crack pipe, do you think it's gonna stop them from doing crack?
Absolutely not. But my issue with it, I can understand what you're saying as far as like I said, like as far as the medical aspect, like trying to limit diseases and things like that. However, my issue with it is you're giving them government funded pipes.
Not to mention,
It's cheaper than the fucking
even with you giving
medication.
them these, no, even with you giving them these free kits, guess what? They're still gonna reuse them.
Exactly.
So you're
Sooner or
still
later
spreading
that
the
the drug
disease.
exactly. Sooner or later the drug is gonna fucking run out and they're gonna go in, they're gonna go to their local drug dealer where they've been getting drugs forever.
I'm not saying it's going to be I'll just say this right now, and I'll cut it as far as being very realistic, and maybe I'm being over optimistic as well, but fuck it. So let's say that you give out 1,000 of these kits a year, and I'm lowballing it. I'm just using it as an excuse, and I'm just using it to simplify this because we all love math here, right? So to Basement's point, I understand they're gonna do it, they're gonna go for it anyway. But if you gave out 1,000 kits that did not have the crack pipe in the, I shouldn't say crack pipe, the smoking utensil, versus 1,000 that didn't, I would argue that 999 of them would do that, would go out and definitely would do it no matter what. They'd suck dick, they would do whatever they needed to do to get the next high, next fix. I agree with you. But there is, even if there is the most infinitesimal slim chance that it may not get them completely off the wagon. I'm not saying these things are gonna be fucking miracle workers, but to at least not to, how do I say this the right way? I would rather make it more difficult for them to obtain the drugs by not providing it for them than providing it for them.
The problem is not the utensil used to take the drug. The problem is the drug itself.
That's what spread. Well, no, the utensil is like if you're using
No,
a needle,
because you
that's
can
what's
take.
used to spread
Yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily have to take it through a needle.
You
True.
don't, but you know what? These diseases that they are worried about can be spread through your saliva as well.
Yeah.
Open up.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, I don't know.
The crack houses, fucking heroin dens or whatever, where people pass around the needle and go fucking zonked. That's what this was supposed to prevent them from sharing whatever fucking blood disease they might have.
I just think it's sending a wrong message at the very least.
At the end of the day, it's not it's the tool they're giving out, yes, but it's not the drug they're giving out.
It's like a gun.
Yeah.
It's like a gun. You need a bullet to actually make the gun work, right?
Yes.
To do its job, correct? I can understand the plight with you need the drug. Because if you just shoot straight up air into your fucking blood,
you're gonna die. Yeah.
Yeah.
you're gonna die.
Let me try that real quick.
But here's the thing, though. I understand what you guys are saying about, like, okay, maybe this will, making the drug a little bit more difficult to get, blah, blah, blah. But the fact of the matter is there's a drug dealer around every fucking corner, even in my small
Yeah, but the
fucking town.
dealer gives you the drug, not the utensils to fucking. He's not a
understand that, but
fucking nursing home.
I understand that, but if the fucking government is giving you the utensil to use, and you're still going and you're still getting the
They're
drug
just
from the
using
drug
old
dealer,
fucking needles on the ground. They're
but
gonna do it anyway. Like 1,000 out of 1,000 will continue doing it.
yes, just listen to me once. Like, okay, if the government gives out the utensil, okay, you still go and you get your drugs from your drug dealer. If you're a heroin addict, most of the time, if somebody has a needle, you're still gonna fucking share that needle. It doesn't matter if it came from the fucking drug dealer or from the government.
They're not gonna care because they're just getting the drug no matter what.
All they care about is the drug.
Yeah, I mean, it might be a useless program.
It is a useless.
I wouldn't say it's enabling. I wouldn't say it's enabling drug use.
No, but in my opinion, it is useless because of that fact. It is just it's not enabling. It's just further propelling the cycle in a stage that it doesn't need to be. That's spending money that we don't fucking have. In case everybody hasn't noticed, the United States is in a fucking basically in a recession right now. Like, we don't have the fucking money to be spending on fucking this.
So they're
Well, I'm
sitting
sure.
there-
Like the thing is, the money just because you're not spending it on this doesn't mean it's coming back in your pocket.
No, I understand that. But what I'm
Right?
saying
It's
is,
allotted
like,
to that segment of the government to do something with.
Right.
So they're gonna do it as a pilot and see what happens if it's actually being used or not, and if it does, it's not gonna. The only thing it'll do is slightly decrease disease within a
don't
very
think
specific
it will.
population.
That's my problem. I'm not saying that it's not going to work. I just don't think that it's going to be a significant enough change to make
Well,
the
there's no way
money
to there's no way to
worth
fix
it.
that problem anyway.
No, I understand, but that's why I'm saying why fucking do it? If you know that there's not anything that's going to be done to actually fix the fucking problem, then why spend the fucking money on it?
I guess everything is like a baby step towards getting to where you want to get. You can't just have a miracle fix to fucking drug addiction.
And until the United States, listen, I'm sorry, JP, but until some parts of the United States government gets their fingers out of fucking cartel, and the cartel gets out of the United States government,
me.
Because you're part of the government.
I'm not, that, but
You're not part of that branch of
I don't
government.
yes, but I just said sorry because I was, kind of bashing our government at the time. But until that happens, until the both out of each one, nothing is ever going to be able to get done. You have to stop the drugs from coming into the United States. And the fact of the matter is they will not do that because there are many, many, many politicians that have their fucking fingers in the cartel.
Now, see, here's the other side of this coin. Why are they not instead now? Because how are they going to track how many of these packets are not only picked up but used?
Mhm.
And why are they not then sitting there creating details to follow
They're
the
not
trail?
vetting the process. That's my other fear is they won't vet the
Well,
process.
I mean, okay. The thing is, like, too, with that type of, if you're dealing with addicts as a whole and that type of population, especially drug addicts, any like additional process you put in place might be a deterrent for them to come in to use the fresher, clean needles. Right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
for instance, if I'm an addict of heroin,
I just
and
want to. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
if
Go ahead.
I'm a heroin addict and I haven't had my heroin fix yet, I'm still like somewhat in my right mind, or I'm not high or anything. If I have the choice to pick up a needle on the ground versus go to like walk 100 feet down the street and go to like some place that I can pick up a needle that I know hasn't been used, I'm going to choose the latter.
Right, but you're talking as a person that is
No,
not
but
a
you would
drug addict.
still
I
choose
have
the latter. It's not if there's an option that's not
Well-
completely out of the
Oh,
way.
I have seen this
No, basement. The
No,
firsthand.
mind of a drug addict,
I can tell-
especially one that
Yeah,
has
on
been
it.
using for years,
I can tell you.
they will
It-
go
it-
to the
okay.
quickest route they can get.
I can
to.
tell you right now,
whatever way they
basement.
can do
I
in
can
order
tell
to
you
get
right
it.
now
it's
from
not-
experience. From experience, basement. I get what you're saying, but I can tell you right now from experience, that drug addict sees that needle, even though it's 100 feet down the road, they want that fix now. They don't give a fuck when it happens, how it happens. If they get sick from it, they don't give a shit.
So
Yeah,
maybe
sure.
they go get the needle first and then go to the drug addict.
They
You're-
don't.
you're
Or drug
okay,
dealer.
listen, you're thinking of this from a rational point,
Which
which is how most people
drug
think.
addicts don't think rationally.
Drug addicts are not rational
That-
thinkers.
that-
Drug
that is-
addicts just think, I need to stop this pain and I need to get my fix
No,
now, or
exactly.
I'm going to die
It's
from
not
this pain.
It's not pain.
To them, it's pain.
Yes, I get it.
Well, okay, with heroin addicts is a certain level of pain because when they go through with their withdrawals, it is fucking hardcore withdrawals. Like heroin is pretty much one of the worst, if not the
Well,
worst that you can do.
Methamphetamines are the most addictive drug that is out there. Cheapest and most
I-
addictive.
Without going into too much, I have a family who has dealt with drugs, and the only thing I will say in relation to this to echo is I agree. I get where Basement is coming from his standpoint, but from seeing this very close, yeah, they do not think logically. They will just go. That's why, unfortunately, or at least from what I've seen, there's been diseases is because they are not. Okay. Here's two choices in front of you. This one will get it to you almost instantaneously, but you'll have this disease. Versus the other one where'd the other needle go? Where? Oh, you already have it. Okay, cool. Well, all right. Well, there goes that speech. Even though that one's infinitely better, they don't care about the. They don't that they throw rationale out the window and they just want the quickest fit. And I just know that from relatively close parameters.
Yeah,
That's all
I mean,
I'll say.
I think what they did here is they had like those kits or just the clean needles set up at like food banks and things like that, so
Yeah.
that you
That
can
might help.
grab one on the way out or
The
whatever.
intention
there
is
wasn't
really
like
where.
a
Something like that.
specific location
Yeah.
that you had to go to. It was like
If-
places where they would visit anyway.
Yeah.
If it's something like that, then I could maybe see it. But you're still only talking about what, 1 to 2 needles?
The other
per
problem,
person?
the huge fucking problem is, I understand we're never gonna fucking win the drug war. Got it.
There's no war, like you can't.
No, but I get
Not
it.
when
I
the government
get
has
it.
their fingers in it.
No, you would never win it anyway
Not even
because
the
it's a
government
personal problem.
Yes. Go ahead. Yeah, JB.
matter. The government, even if the government was involved, not involved in it, they'd still be losing. Either way,
Yeah.
the issue isn't. It's the addict themselves. If they don't
Yeah.
want to fucking help,
It's the same thing as the homeless problem, and sometimes those are two in the same.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
You know, you can't fix a problem that can't. The problem lies within itself.
but I do want to just say, if me shitting on the government, I can't do it between the hours of 7:30 to 4 Monday through Friday.
perfect. Good. We know when to clock in and out for this shit. Good.
Also, just a little FYI here. Government officials, if you are listening, us at No Bucks Given, we respect the government.
Except for Gina.
Listen,
Anyway,
do.
so so on
Come
the
on, people. Let's be
Re-
realistic one fucking time.
Well, he's
Let's-
Canadian. He doesn't have to respect the American government.
yeah, he's in the clear.
But Justin Trudeau, we hear you. We hear you.
It's time to go home
It's
now.
time
It's time to go home now.
No, just take the convoy. So, Al, a couple people say in the chat real quick. I just want to read these up, and then we'll switch over to some more icebreakers to hopefully end on a little bit more of a happier note here. TN Couponer says, I think in New York they have a place where you can use drugs, but you have to provide your own drugs. So it's BYOB or BYOD. Alpha says what they're basically saying is instead of trying to stop drug use and help drug addicts get out of it, they're saying go ahead and smoke your life away. We never gave a shit about you anyway. Here's the other thing. Even if the he says here's another thing. Even if the person using drugs get, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I just want to say, I think the problem is everybody's so much more worried about fucking disease than they are, because I'm telling you right now, the drug problem is actually worse than the fucking pandemic we have right fucking now.
get so angry.
It's killing more fucking people than fucking coronavirus is. I
Yeah,
don't
but the problem
fucking
is
care what
they're
anybody
killing
says.
themselves.
Well, the
Yeah, that's
and
true.
that in itself is the
true.
problem.
Right. That's even makes it even worse.
But true,
No,
they're getting diseases, and that's what's killing them. It's not always the drugs, but
No,
Yeah.
it's those two things, but it's because of
They-
the drug use.
They gotta go hand in hand, and unfortunately,
so how do you think that AIDS got as rampant as it?
A man
as it
fucked a
did?
monkey.
monkeys. Yeah.
Wasn't that?
Here's the
Listen,
Al-
I
Al-
Always
understand
monkeys.
that.
Always
It's always
fucking
monkeys.
Listen, I understand that. I also understand that AIDS is transmitted through sexual activity, but one of the, if not the highest transmissions of AIDS is through needles.
Why don't they ever pick
It's a
a good
blood disease.
animal? Like a man fucked a monkey, a man fucked a bat. Well, come on, like a panda
Oh,
or
listen,
something.
how the fuck a man
A
fuck a
rabbit.
bat?
Bear.
hey,
Hey, don't
that's
say
almost
anything is possible.
Listen, I
that
have
is
so many
almost as
questions.
fucked up as a monkey fucking a football bat.
Listen. Okay,
It's
I don't
oddly
want
specific.
images in my head that I don't
There's
want.
some
Hunter,
big fucking
please, for the love
bats,
of God.
okay?
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on here. We got a couple. Yeah, we're gonna move on to the icebreakers here. Once again, we're
I
gonna
just
do these
hope once it's a giraffe or something that causes the end of people.
the longest
Giraffes are
necked fucking animal.
It'd be fucking
Why?
funny if it was a shark.
Well, it spit in my mouth. How did you get a fucking ladder and just anyway? Got some fun more icebreakers. We'll use this to wrap up this week's edition of Nobody's Given. Again, I want to thank everybody who's joined us in the chat here live or listening to us for well over 2 hours beyond the time that they probably should have listened to us. I'm surprised we even made it to episode 6, to be honest with you. But hey, you know what? The internet's full of fun, crazy people just like us. And we love you guys for joining on the ride. So we got 3 more questions, icebreakers. Feel free to answer as well in the chat. Guys and gals, what do you like to do at the beach? What do you like to do at the beach?
Masturbate.
Give out needles.
Swear to God, if JP's answers to every single one of these questions,
Volleyball.
you know what the funny thing is?
You know what?
Hold on, real quick, JP. The funny thing is, I have the 3 questions lined up here. Technically speaking, your answer could answer to be the answer to all 3 of these questions.
I think the answer to any question you give me would be masturbate. But no, what would, if I went to the beach, build a sandcastle? I've never done that.
What?
I want to bury you in the
No, I
sand
haven't.
up until your neck.
So I did not, we didn't go to the beach that often. We didn't do those kinds of things.
Oh my God! How?
We should bury each other in the sand up until
Yes.
our necks.
That's
Well-
another thing right there.
Be cool.
Put JP head first.
gonna
Heather, what
fucking
about you?
Give you big tits and everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Better lay you
myself.
flat.
And then I'm gonna sprinkle some birdseed all around you so the seagulls really love you.
No. What you do is you have to put a little bit of you have to squirt a little bit of
Torture.
the sunblock right on the. Anyway, Heather,
So this beach that we're going to do this at, Gina, is that one of the ponds that you have in Minnesota?
Yes.
I'm gonna bury you in the sand and then put butter on your head and watch you burn.
Yes.
Oh God.
And then I'm gonna fucking put some birdseed so I can get the Canadian geese over by you. Yeah.
Oh God. Fuck
Oh,
that.
God, no, those things are
Heather, favorite thing to do at the
You need
beach?
the Canadian geese, just get the swans.
What are you
Yep.
going to do at the beach?
I'm going to swim and try to avoid seaweed.
What about Jaws?
Jaws I'll make friends with.
Seaweed and lakes now. Come on, man.
We didn't specify where this beach was.
It's true.
Yeah. Just in general,
Hey,
favorite thing to do at a beach.
In general, at a beach. My favorite thing to do when I'm at the beach is pick up seashells. I love looking for
I
different.
love doing that.
types of seashells.
Gina hit it right on. That is one thing that I love doing.
Yeah, I love doing that because I actually have a little collection of seashells from the Gulf, and even just at my small pond in my town.
That's a lake. I get that.
20,000
One
these
that
fucking
went
bitches.
I've seen it.
What about you,
But
Baseman? Oh,
even
sorry,
there,
guys.
there's seashells. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Baseman.
Oh, I was just gonna say that. Yeah, there's seashells there too. Basement.
The best part, Gina. I'm sorry, just go ahead. And yeah, I was just gonna say.
Thank you. You like to do it at the beach, you fucking asshole.
No, I like to fucking put on my sunglasses, sit down, and stare at the honeys
Oh my God, I hate you so much right now for that.
And masturbate.
and masturbate furiously.
Yeah. I'm not allowed at many beaches anymore, but back in the day. I'm actually with Rayshawn and Cooper. I'm actually with Rayshawn T and Cooper. I am not a beach person. I actually hate the sand. I hate the sand.
What? It gets everywhere.
That's
You
that's
love
my
the
point. It gets everywhere. So if I do have to go to the beach,
Calm down,
I'm
Anakin.
a bit what?
I said, calm down, Anakin.
I hate the beach. It gets everywhere.
I'm not as much. It's okay. I guess.
Swimming is the big thing for me.
Here's the thing: I love the beach, but it's only because of the sound of the waves.
Oh yeah,
I
it's,
don't.
If you've ever been to the ocean, if you've ever been to the ocean, that is very relaxing.
It is.
Yeah. Close your eyes.
Here's the thing,
Jurgen says so too. Alpha, yeah.
I don't swim in the ocean because when I was little, story time.
Yes.
So story time. When I was really little, we were down in Louisiana and I got really fucking sunburnt, right? Like really sunburnt. And I was only like 9, right? My first trip ever to the beach, the ocean. So I was fucking thrilled. Cousins all get out of the car. I get out of the car. First thing I do is I take off running towards the water, right? Salt water got in my sunburn. Needless to say, there are pictures of a 9-year-old Gina with no shirt on, her arms spread out like a fucking eagle, crying out of my fucking mind while my mom proceeds to take water from fucking a bucket full of shrimp and dump it all over me trying to get the salt out of my fucking sunburn.
That sounds like a great summer right there. Is what I'm
And then
hearing.
what-
Happened to
the
me in
second
the
ti-
Caribbean Sea.
and then
Yeah.
the second
No, we're not
Sorry?
playing catch, Wendy.
second time that I went to the ocean, was on my senior class trip, and my friend Annie actually got bit in the ankle by a fucking baby shark because they were spawning at the time on Cocoa Beach. Yeah. So I don't swim in the ocean.
All right, second question.
Swim, so bring me to a pool. I will swim all fucking day.
Yep.
I do
Right,
not
a
care.
pool?
Right
Pool?
there.
Fuck
Yes.
yeah. A lake? Fuck yeah. The ocean?
Thrown
Mm-mm.
off the big banana into one of those fucking sea urchins.
Oh god.
What
I had
is
to
the
piss on and I had to piss on myself.
second question is what is the last thing you do before bed? And JP's answer is
I masturbate.
What? No, what was the question? I'm sorry.
what is the last thing you do before bed?
I take a shit
That was close.
and then masturbate.
Yeah, there we go.
I do
No,
both at the same time.
The last thing I do before I go to bed, I don't.
You watch TV.
I do watch TV. I watch TV.
There you go.
Me, I fucking most of the time I don't sleep because
Wendy
it's-
doesn't. Or,
A
it
finger
is
blast.
almost 1:00 in the morning and she's up playing catch right
yeah,
now.
she's full of energy.
Yeah, it'll be great to go back to a normal schedule, won't it? In
Mhm.
10 years.
Yeah, right.
Gina.
Oh,
Last thing I do before
You
bed,
figure-
I
Wendy.
watch TV, and I think the last thing I do is I check my alarms at least 3 times, because I have OCD when it comes to my alarms.
I have like 30 of
Finger
them that I ignore.
I have 3 alarms set on my cell phone and 1 on my regular alarm clock, and I have to check each and every one of them 3 times each before I go to bed to make sure that they're set correctly. The volume's turned up on my phone.
What about you, Basement?
I usually watch something, whether it's TV show or YouTube or something.
Everybody in the chat actually says, real quick, Alpha says, Heather, fuck yeah, give me a swimming pool all damn good. T and Coupon says, turn off my TV. Jurgen says, watching TV. Rayshawn, shot a whiskey. And then a melodic, melodic death metal. I actually do those like, sometimes I'll just like lay down and just like listen to like a podcast or something. But most of the time I'll actually do the soothing sounds to sleep on YouTube. I'll throw my phone on the other side of the couch, which obviously that goes fucking well, and then I pass out pretty quickly from those. So that's usually my forte.
You know what? Lately, I've been listening to thunderstorms when I go to sleep, and it's been. Listen, I don't know what puts me out quicker, thunderstorms or men's hockey.
So
The one
here's
that-
I'm gonna go with my hockey.
yeah, same. So the problem is I've tried using like rain sounds or waterfall shit, but the problem is that between my line of work and the fact that I've had multiple leaks in my house multiple times, that anytime I hear any sort of like water falling that I don't think is supposed to happen, I fucking wake up in a fucking goddamn panic and my heart's racing a mile a minute. So it's like, yeah. And Alpha, yeah, not only does Rayshawn listen to death metal, so do I. I haven't listened to
Listen
anything
to life metal.
new. Praise the Lord now. Last question. Before we wrap this up, what was your favorite trend?
God.
Chunky highlights.
What is it?
Chunky highlights. You know where girls had the dark brown hair and they had highlights of white blondes that were like that.
Oh,
thick?
yeah, I remember that. Oh my God.
This
I
one,
don't
like,
remember.
like it exploded.
Yeah.
This is- oh,
That was my favorite trend.
what's that?
JP's is masturbation. Gina, what's up with yours?
Jenko jeans.
What was your favorite trend?
No.
Janko?
ew.
What?
You
Jenko
gross.
jeans were
You
my
gross.
favorite.
When
Hold
you
on.
say trend, what do you mean?
Something that
Like,
was
Popular.
It was there
Yeah.
for a while, then
Like,
it left,
in
but it was
style.
popular.
yeah.
So
Oh my
back
fucking
when
god,
I
that's what
was-
those things were called. I just googled them.
Okay, so back in the 80s,
Googled what?
Janko jeans.
the trend was to surf or roll your pants.
I
Huh.
remember
I
that.
mean, a trend doesn't need to be like clothing related.
No, but
Well,
whatever.
That's
For him, that was his
You
favorite.
got to remember, we didn't have the fucking internet back when I was growing up.
They had mullets and hairbands.
You know what?
What a
Like,
time.
yeah. And Connor, with the Jenko jeans, did you get the ones with the colors down the side, like the triangle colors?
I've
Yeah,
I've
that
seen
was
those
my
before.
shit.
Oh my god, that
I
shit was
love
like
that
oh
was my
god.
fucking
I hate you
favorite. I
guys.
love them.
I hate you all.
What about you, Basement? No?
I mean, there wasn't, yeah, for me, I mean, now, if it was a trend, there really is nothing that I care about.
I meant like
It's
it's
just
more so in the past, obviously,
It's
than
happening now.
yeah. Everything sucks now.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, clothing was a huge trend when I was growing up.
What about you,
I think
Basement?
the 80s
Anything
and the 90s
anything
with clothing was really good. Anyway,
anything stick out to you?
I don't know. I was never really a trender of clothing, at least.
did you
I
do
just
the
wore
thing?
garbage bags.
Did you do the chain to the wallet thing?
No, I was never that.
Thank fucking God, because I would have driven to Canada and
That
like
was
hunt
more of a
hunt
Connor
you.
thing. That was more of a Connor thing.
Oh,
no,
oh no
Connor.
no.
Me
I didn't
too.
have
It didn't stop there. I had
Oh,
chains
God.
to every
Me
one of
too.
my appliances.
I had the baggy Hot Topic
Oh God, no.
30 plastic chain. Oh, I had a goth face.
Oh God.
Yep,
Don't bring
I
it
had a
back.
goth
That face is
face.
fine, but
Oh,
my God,
goth.
Oh my,
Oh my
goth.
goth.
You know what though? I will take that look any fucking day over the pants off the ass.
No, I never
Yeah.
know.
Mm-mm.
No, and Gina, let me just state very publicly for the record, just because I dressed like one did not mean I pulled it. Did not mean I looked good. Did not mean
Listen,
that it was
did
a
any
good
of us
thing.
pull any of the fucking trends in the 90s off very well? I think it was a lot easier to pull off 80s trends, in my opinion, than it was 90s trends, because 80s trends were like
Trends were
they weren't like outrageous, you know?
so the 80s trends, and I can speak on 80s trends, was the clothing and the hair. Hair
Yeah,
and
because like
Ironically,
fucking-
okay, if you're a girl in the 80s, literally all you have to do is learn how to feather
Yeah,
your hair and buy
pogs.
like a
Fuck your
fucking
hair.
bottle of
I told you.
hairspray.
fuck. Ah,
Fucking
jerk.
That's what I was
Man,
gonna actually
Aquanet
say.
up
was
as high as you can
pogs.
get it.
guys did the
Oh.
same fucking thing because
Oh,
it
it's
looked
fucking
like
fantastic.
fucking Nikki Six and all those guys. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Connor
I
just
did
was
say the
blown.
80s, the shaggy 80s haircut that like fucking Pat Benatar and Joan Jett
Yeah.
rocked back in the 80s. That's coming back into style, my
It
friends.
is.
All of the 80s and early 90s clothes as well are coming back in. Sorry, Connor, what are you saying?
No, Basement, you saw it too. Jurgen said Pogs. I'm like,
That's what I was gonna
Pogs were
say.
fucking
Pog-
amazing.
You know, Pogs lived and died in the span of like a year.
I know, but it was a great year.
I loved
Yeah,
Pogs.
it was a great year. It was the
You
year
know
of
what else
Pogs.
was- You know what else I fucking loved from when we were kids? I loved fucking strawberry shortcake.
Battles with them.
I kind of want to.
Shit smelled so
I think when
fucking
we get
good.
together, we should make custom Pogs and fucking let's go
Yes.
get the.
Pogs were great.
They were just JP. They were basically like these like little. They were just little discs. They were little paper
They were like
plastic
little
discs.
chips.
What she's
Dicks.
saying. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck did you guys do? By this time, I was in the army.
The
and
90s was a
Pogs,
Wild
bitch.
West period
trying to
of
stay
trends.
the fuck alive.
I'm not going to kid you. I had a collection of over 300 of them. And then we had
Yes.
to.
Oh,
And she used them as pasties on her nipples.
Oh, God.
I've
Where's your
got-
slammer?
I had a Pog maker. I had a Pod making machine. So you could literally take a
God.
photo and like crop it and then stick it onto a Pog.
You know what? Like, ugh.
Here's my question: the flipper. Did you like them extra thick, or did
I
you like the
remember
thin
Flipper.
flippers?
That was a
Called
good.
them a
Thick.
slammer.
Give me the thick one.
The
Oh my
slammers,
god, the
yeah. I like the
slammers.
thick
Where you
one.
just like fucking annihilate 20 of them. Oh my fucking god, we need to bring Pogs back.
I remember Flipper. That was a good show.
Flipper.
Here's a flipper for you.
Oh my God, fucking so good. With that being said, I think this is a good positive note to end on Pogs. We're going to wrap up this week's episode of No Bucks Given. I want to thank everybody who joined us so generously in the chat earlier. Alpha, Tian Couponer, Rayshawn, Jurgen. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure if you guys are coming back for some more cool content right here on the YouTube channel. We got NAW coming at you this coming Sunday. We've got more fun, wacky gameplay coming at you on Wednesday. Of course, movie watch-alongs. And again, No Bucks Given each and every single Saturday, plus the Marvel Roundtable every other Monday. So make sure you guys go check out all those cool stuff and subscribe as we continue to bring you some more awesome content right here on the Horny Goat channel. Anybody last minute words or thoughts or anything?
You better stay
before we wrap up?
alive on Wednesday, Gina.
Yeah.
Don't
Talk
forget. I'm
I
sorry.
was alive last Wednesday.
No.
Yes,
You
I
died.
was.
We got resurrected and died and
Yeah,
resurrected.
you
and
killed
died.
me on the
Sorry.
Oregon Trail, you bitch.
Okay. I'm out. I thought that you were talking about when I passed out on last night.
That was me too, so.
So that's why I thought you meant like literally stay alive. I can't help it if I die in the game. I can't help it. I'm horrible at gameplay.
Let's all not forget that later on today is the Super Bowl. Who you guys?
Yes.
What?
Listen, I heard that there's some game
Oh,
going on.
Bengals and the Rams. Who you got, Connor? Who you got in the Super Bowl?
Give me. I'm just looking. I want to look up their win-loss record.
Well, shut the
Don't
front door.
pay attention to the win-loss record. Trust me.
Listen,
Fine,
I'm gonna say
fine.
right now.
Fine.
Okay.
Go ahead, Gina. Go ahead.
Just ram
gonna
me.
I'm gonna say right now. I want the Rams to win, but I think the Bengals are gonna win.
What's the score? And you're wrong, but what's the
I think. Then no, you know what? Fuck that. I want the Rams to win, so we're gonna go with the Rams, and we're gonna go final score of 23-21.
Okay. Basement?
Scratch
I'm
that.
gonna go with the
23 to 20.
Rams.
What's the score?
I don't know.
Well said.
Connor?
I'm gonna go with the Yankees. I think they're gonna get a 7th inning
Cheater. Cheater.
No, I'm gonna go with the Rams too. I'm gonna say score wise, let's kick it up a notch. Let's go 30 to 21.
Okay, right on.
You did this on Monday, Heather. Go ahead.
I'm going with the Rams.
Why don't you go with the Bengals?
Fuck yeah.
Because the Bengals suck.
The Bengals
Yeah, but it's such a beautiful animal.
20
I'll
years.
explain, but go ahead.
It's a beautiful animal.
It is a tiger.
Yeah.
Or
Which is a beautiful animal.
I'm going to say 33 to 15.
All
I'm
right.
gonna go with the Bengals, and or the Rams. Fuck the Bengals.
No, you gotta cut that. I'm gonna go with the Bengals. He was so confident in the Bengals. That's
Bengals. Rams, fuck the Bengals.
Here's the thing, and this is why I'm going with the score the way it is.
Yeah.
The Bengals have no offensive line. The Rams have the best defensive line in the NFL. This is a bold prediction. I think the Rams are going to have 10 sacks in this game.
a lot of sacks.
The quarterback will get sacked 10 times in this game,
Lucky.
which will be a Super Bowl record because I don't think that's ever happened. I think the final score, do you remember like back in the 80s and 90s when the NFC would fucking beat Denver Broncos like 48 to 10?
I don't
I'm
remember 3
thinking
days
the
ago.
score is going to be like 38 to 13.
You think it's a large
I
margin?
don't think the Bengals are going to have anywhere near 250 yards of total offense.
Damn.
The Bengals are going to get run right out of the fucking stadium.
Okay, hold on. So, but I heard that there's is this the football game that's going to be going on during my Dr. Dre concert?
Yeah, so I just want to. I hope that the stadium does collapse on them.
You shut up. This is
No,
my
here's
childhood.
why.
No, you
Here's
ruined my
why.
childhood.
Here's why.
I'm much for ending the show on a positive note, but go ahead.
Them motherfuckers, all fucking how many ever of them motherfuckers there are,
Mm-hmm.
think that me,
Yeah.
being the person that I am, doesn't deserve to live. Fuck them.
You don't deserve to.
What
are you
What?
talking
What are you talking
about?
about?
They think because I support the
they?
conservative idea.
I mean,
I
Dr.
would be allowed to
Dre
vote.
threw his
Yeah.
fucking girlfriend down the stairs. So
Get it
Yeah.
on Dr. Dre?
Fucking so.
that's where he came up
Oh,
with
Eminem,
beats from Dr. Dre.
Eminem can suck my fucking cock.
Like
On that note,
physically, like it's actually possible.
On a lighter note, I'm looking forward to it, and I hope that everybody has a good time during the foosball game.
I have
And
one
Dave, can
last
you stop with
question.
your negative vibes?
I have one last
I
question.
hate every single one of them people.
Okay, one
What-
last question.
What would actually win,
No.
a Bengal or a Ram?
oh, Bengal.
I
A
don't know.
Bengal is a fucking tiger.
Well,
It's a big cat.
It's a tiger.
the Bengal would have more
Yeah,
predatory,
yeah.
like,
A ram? If
Rams got
You
more
ran
power
that
behind it
motherfucker
because
in
of
the
the,
head?
obviously.
yeah,
Well, yeah,
they're
but-
bigger than you think.
Yeah, but.
I'm going 100% with the Bengal. Bengal's like 250
Yeah.
pounds or something.
A ram
but-
will never.
fucking cat.
A ram will never leave his ground, though. See, that's the thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Well,
like,
I
the tiger
mean-
can jump through the air and just like fucking bite the ram.
Cool, it dies in the same spot.
Ram lives in a mountain.
Okay.
Ram live-
Hey guys, hear me out. A Ram lives in a mountain.
Rams live
I'm
in
with you. I'm with you.
Ram live in a mountain.
be out of their
Uh,
fucking element.
I don't know why it was that fucking
It was really.
They're not fighting on anybody's ground. They're fighting in like a pen. And
All right, this is too deep of a conversation for at the end of the fucking show. That being said, folks, thank you all for tuning in to another No Bugs Give It. We'll see you guys next week right here on No Bugs Give It. Take care, and as always, take it easy. I mean, good lord, that's a great way to end this segment,
Oh
huh?
my god, that's great.